talking about today? What's the title? Elon versus Trump's cabinet. Let me see. Why y'all so quiet?
Because we wanted you to start us out strong, Jerry. Waiting for the magic, baby.
Because we know the rules. We're not allowed to speak until you do your intro.
Jonathan didn't tell me to go yet, though.
Welcome to Debate the News. Yeah, so we want me to count you down? I can count you down, Jerry. You
No, I
tell
don't
me when
want you
you're
to
ready.
count me down.
Let's get ready to rumble! It's time!
Did Mr. Bing
Yeah,
want me to?
I got to start the recording.
So you ready for the intro?
I'm about to do it. Absolutely.
I think our audio could be a little bit better. Can
Okay, so Jonathan can do the intro. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Oh no, Jim, your audio because you got to lower it. Let's lower your audio some.
You
Don't
mean
worry.
lower my audio?
Yeah. Here, I'll get rid of my echo right now. See that my echo's gone now.
Okay, so you're gonna do the intro, right? So I can just mute.
Yeah. You know what?
You do the intro.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. So
Loud and clear.
someone has an echo. You guys hear it?
No, I don't hear it.
Okay, good.
Don't hear it.
Yeah, it's only in my earphones. Okay, that's why, guys. This profile. Remember this profile. When I'm on this profile, you cannot speak. All right, Jerry. I'll do the intro real quick. You play the music, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then let's. I'll do a quick intro. And
Are you ready, Mr. Bing?
and we're live.
You're live. Let's go.
All right, folks, louder. Hey guys, welcome to Debate the News on this Friday, the 7th day of March 2025. I'm here with my man Jerry Malcolm. How you doing today, Jerry?
Fantastic.
Absolutely, guys. Got a lot of things to discuss today. We're going to talk about Elon versus Trump's cabinet, and we're also going to talk about Trump's schizophrenic reaction to Russia today as well, and a bunch of other things, guys. Jerry had a topic that was going on that was really spicy. I'm going to probably touch on that a little earlier on the show. But hey, guys, if you guys are listening to us either on the podcast or whether it's TuneIn, iHeart, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening to it, guys, download the Chatter Social app and come join us live. We film these shows. Well, we do the show. Well, we record these shows live on the Chatter Social app, approximately 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. But with that, Jay, let's get this thing started, man.
Mr. Bing, I got a question for you before we get started. You know how I always like to ask you a special question, Mr. Bing.
I'm in that. What's that at, Jerry?
Well, you know what? Hold on a second. Okay.
That was lackluster.
Now, Mr. Bing, I got a question for you, my brother. This is a very important question. How are you doing today, Mr. Bing? How are you? How's your Friday going?
On top of the world, Jerry. On top of the world.
Can you give us an example or a reason why you're on top of the world, my brother?
Yeah, because I'm not under the world. I'm not buried.
Shout out to Jonathan Bing for being on top of the world, and shout out to the entire Debate the News crew. Shout out to all you wonderful, beautiful people in the audience, and shout out to all you wonderful people that are listening to us streaming wherever you are, and shout out to you other incredible people on that other platform. Y'all know who y'all are. So, Mr. Jonathan Bing, what's going on with this though, my brother? What's up? Mr. Bing? Did y'all not hear me?
Absolutely, I heard you, Jerry. So here's the deal, folks. Jerry. Elon got into it, Marco Rubio. So we want to talk about that. The FAA people said that he tried to fire some. I guess, air traffic controllers. Elon also, believe it or not, just been saying that Marco hasn't done a good job. He's a good speaker. That's about it. He's good for TV. That's all. So we have that going on, Jerry. Also, what we have here is we have Elon not just speaking about that. We also have, Trump. He threatened to put sanctions on Russia at the same time. he's backing my man Putin up by saying that, hey, Putin has stepped up during these peace talks. He stepped up attacks on Ukraine, and he's then said at the same time saying, "Hey, who wouldn't do that?" So he's back in Putin. So he's sort of, I think he's trying to throw a little head fake on us, Jerry, telling us like, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to go hard on Putin, but at the same time with possible sanctions, but at the same time defending him." So yeah, that's what's going on here today, Jerry. So we got a lot to discuss. We also have, we were talking about before we started the main show, Jerry. We have a lounge, as you know, and we sit in this lounge. And when we sit in this lounge, we typically just discuss things before the show began. And today we were discussing, I guess pedophilia,
Oh,
and yeah, yeah,
not good.
and so yeah, man. And so what we were discussing was, I guess there's a story, and I haven't confirmed it yet, where a gentleman allegedly came home. I mean, his daughter came home and she had blood. She had blood on her pants, and so, and he asked like, "What happened?" And she told him that the uncle stuck something in her and it hurt, and so he went over and killed the guy,
Of
his
course.
brother. Okay, right. Without it goes without saying, right?
Right.
And so, and stuck it the I guess cut off his penis area,
Put in his mouth.
and
Shout out to him.
it's what it's appendix. Yeah,
Appendix.
yeah, appendix, and stuck it in his mouth, and so he's now in jail. So we were speaking about that once again. Um, I'm hearing stories about it, Jerry. It looked like it came from X, so I don't know how real the story is. But and I was speaking. I was like, hey, you know what? Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I certainly would have done it. And we were just speaking about that. So that's
Did it
something.
wake it up? Did it wake it up in the room a little bit? Did some people get really into that conversation? Because it seems like that's something that just about everybody be on the same page about, I would imagine.
Sean.
Not Vashawn?
Vashawn, are you there, Vashawn?
Vashawn.
So, well, we're talking about the death penalty for it, and right now in the United States, the things that you can get death penalty for is like treason, spying, terrorist stuff like that, murder. But someone mentioned that Alabama proposed a bill, which it's not going to go anywhere because the Supreme Court would deem it cruel and unusual punishment. You know, so once again, we were speaking about that, and there's a lot to go with it. So Jerry, it's just a little crazy, man. But before we get into that, I want to go to a Dateline. We have Skull here with a Dateline. So let's do that Dateline, get that out the way. Let's jump, and I want to jump into that, Jerry. Let's see if you can handle that dicey subject.
That's frightening. That's light work. Mr. Skull,
Hi there, Jerry. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Hey, I need you to put a little energy in that Dateline tonight. You ready for that, bro? Because I'm gonna set you up. Okay, so I need some All right. So you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Say it like you mean it. I'm gonna count you down from 3 to 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Get money.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Debate the News. Skull here on March 7th, 2025. Yet another brutal day of an attack on our republic by the current regime in Washington. Doge employees actually called in U.S. Marshals to try to get into the African Development Foundation after staffers would not let them in, forcing their way in with U.S. Marshals who were heavily armed. Additionally, Doge has gotten access or is trying to get access to the National Child Support Database. They want to know how much everybody's making and if you all are paying your child support. So, support your kids because Musk's about to find out. Secondly, Trump has suspended clearance for a second law firm. This is in addition to the previous law firm that he has suspended clearances and revoked all government contracts to. If you're a lawyer and you go against Trump, he's going to down. I'm sure these law firms are suing Trump for these actions, but that will take time. A federal judge backed by the High Court, U.S. Supreme Court, has ruled that he has to start repaying the billions of dollars of U.S. aid appropriated by Congress. Well, Congress made that decision, not him. He's going to have to start paying it again, folks. So much for Doge saving money. I guess Iraq is getting Sesame Street back. And lastly, a federal judge has stopped his order on the NIH, and once again, things are being funded. And if you guys would like a list, I have every single cancer research project that is now able to go forward because, once again, we're funding the fight against cancer, which I think we all agree with. And I land, folks. And I land. Oh, one last thing. Crypto conference. It was great. Wonderful. Coming to you live from DC. And yeah, it's a golden age for crypto. I really appreciate that. I land.
Okay. Appreciate you for
You know
that.
what, Jerry? I'm gonna tell you something, man.
What's up?
Man, Trump is like one of the best ever did it. You know that, man? You gotta give the man credit.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because he's holding a crypto conference, all right. And while he's holding this crypto conference, trying to, and he's trying to say the United States is no longer going to be unfriendly towards crypto, while he's selling a crypto coin.
That's that businessman they like about him.
Yeah,
It'd be nice if he transfers some of that to the American people, though. But hey, time will tell, right? So, Mr. Bing, do we have someone from the other side? Someone, I don't know if Storm is here. I don't know if Mr. Benstock is here. But is there anybody else available right now?
No, we don't have a Storm or Benstock tonight, man, unfortunately.
Well, let's let Daphne. You ready, Daphne? You gonna do it?
No, I think Scald knocks it out of the park.
No, we need
Does
the other
anybody else
side,
want-
Daphne.
Oh, no. I'm not doing a political side tonight. Does someone else have one ready? Do you have one, Jerry?
I'm always ready.
Go for it.
No, we're gonna pass it to you.
Oh, I just
Jonathan.
I'm not on the other side, but I could.
Okay, I got you.
Let's do it, Tara.
Tara's here?
Yeah.
Tara's here. Let's do it.
Tara.
Okay, so I'll give a few more things. It's, obviously Skull did a great job, but there are a few more things. Trump administration is pulling $400 million from Columbia University in terms of contracts and grants, because what it said was the Ivy League school did not squelch anti-Semitism on campus. And I think based upon the Trump administration's previous statements, other schools are at risk, particularly Harvard, which they have often railed against. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services asked the Center for Disease Control to study vaccines and autism. They want a huge study of vaccines and autism. There obviously have been many of these studies, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr. obviously is not satisfied, and so there will be some very big, very expensive study. Gene Hackman, this is such a sad story. Gene Hackman, as you know, and his wife and his dog died. Today it was ruled that his wife died of hantavirus. She got obviously bitten or something by a rat, didn't know it, died. She died a week before he did. He had Alzheimer's, so he probably was just wandering around the house, not understanding what was going on and what happened. And that is just, the idea of it is so sad, okay? Trump, as you know, did get rid, he stayed the tariffs against Canada and Mexico, but today he mentioned that it's totally unfair. Canada is totally unfair in terms of the dairy products. Now, I just want to point out something. Canada, there are tariffs on dairy products that Canada would import into, into Canada. Sorry, that would export into the United States, but they never get to that level. They have literally never gotten to that level, and so this is just another fake claim. Don't know why. The Trump administration is planning to cut about 70,000 employees from the VA, and many veterans are very upset about this because they think it'll mean that services are going to be, not as available. Remember Mayor Adams? Remember the Justice Department decided not to prosecute him. The court held a hearing today, and they had asked a special expert to come in to discuss what they should do. And what this guy did is something really surprising. Mayor Adams' case was going to be dismissed without prejudice. That means it could have been brought back again if he didn't presumably do what the Trump administration wanted, or if he, whatever. The representative, the lawyer who spoke, said that they should dismiss it with prejudice. In other words, they can't bring back these charges because that raises the specter that it's political. if they have the opportunity to bring back the charges. So essentially, we'll see if the court's going to believe that or do that. But it's possible that Mayor Adams could be even in better shape after this hearing. And finally, the Trump administration has suspended Ukraine's access to commercial satellite imagery through this company called Moxar, and it makes it much more difficult for them to track Russian troop movements. Trump administration has taken a number of steps to stop sharing intelligence with Ukraine. I think this is an attempt to put the squeeze on Ukraine, but it probably is leading to some more deaths in Ukraine. Thanks.
You know, Tara, before you go, a couple of things. Because I understand that what's going on with Social Security right now is it's just with all the cuts. I think that the wait times to I guess get something a new Social Security number, a new baby, a newborn baby to get a Social Security number went up to 200 like 230 days. That's ridiculous. And if you were to call Social Security, that the wait time on hold was over 120 minutes. So with that being said, you know, Tara, well, I mean, it's like these cuts are just ridiculous.
Well, look, one of the things they had done and then they just took it back was in Maine. Normally, when a baby is born in a hospital, the mothers can sign this form saying get him or her a social security number, which makes it easy. So they had cut that program in Maine, and they just and so that meant that mothers would have to go to the Social Security offices to get Social Security numbers for their children. Now, that was just reversed, but this is sort of another example, I think, of the Musk people not understanding the purposes of what they are cutting and not understanding who does what and why it's important for people, and I do think there's been an awful lot of that, Jonathan.
Yeah, because and once again, guys, and the reason I bring that up, and the sole reason I bring that up is because they had to put that back, and I guess they thought that children were, I guess people were able to get Social Security numbers. Jerry, we can't see you, by the way, Jerry, and yeah, we can't see you, Jerry, by the way. Um, so yes, they couldn't get Social Security numbers, and because they felt like you can get Social Security number. There you go, you're back. You can get Social Security numbers. It's hard, it's made it harder for people to pretend to be a citizen or whatever. But it just didn't make sense. So yeah, you're right. They brought that back. And other things, in terms of just everything that's happening right now, with he brought up the building, the African whatever building. They blocked them, so I guess they eventually got in because I was cheering for those people because they were like, hey, but Tara and Skull, Elon had a crash. He clashed with the cabinet
Well, he
members,
had
and
a crash too, actually, Jonathan.
yeah, they did. He clashed with the cabinet members, okay, and especially Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio called him out, and he pretty much called Marco Rubio out, saying, "Hey, you haven't fired anyone." And Marco Rubio said that's not true because we had, I think, approximately 1,500 people take the buyout. What should I do? Hire them back and then fire them just so you can get the gratification of firing them? So, because Marco Rubio is refusing his cuts, and so it got into a big mess. Eventually, Trump had to get involved and told him, calm down. The FAA, the head of FAA said Elon was trying to fire air traffic controllers. And basically, they need air traffic controllers right now. So Trump pretty much had to step in, put his hands out, say, stop, stop, stop. And pretty much said Elon doesn't have the authority to fire anyone. He can make recommendations, and that each head, secretary, make those determinations on who get fired. That was put out there as a result of that contentious cabinet meeting, where everyone believes that Elon has overstepped and that he has made things miserable in terms of the morale with the workforce and the efficiency of the government. So Doge has not that last E stands for efficiency. That they just haven't been that efficient according to the cabinet members. Tara, so you have any thoughts
Well,
on that?
look, I think one of the things I wanted to mention was, yes, there have been clashes, unsurprisingly, but what the reporting was that after the Rubio, and also there was a little problem with the FAA situation, after those clashes, everybody else shut up because it was uncomfortable and it was unclear who he was backing, because at one point he backed the role of the cabinet people, and then another point he says, but if you don't do it, Musk is going to come in and do it for you. So people are scared, to be honest. The cabinet members seem to be really nervous about saying anything that's negative in front of Donald Trump, which really shouldn't be the case, but is the case. I just want to raise one more thing about Elon Musk. When the SpaceX rocket crashed yesterday, I think everyone heard about that, and there were planes that were actually delayed in Florida because of debris that was falling down. This is the second time it's happened. And the reason why Musk was able to launch this second SpaceX was because the FAA did not finish their investigation. They gave him a special dispensation to go on with the second flight, even though they hadn't finished investigating the first flight. So all I'm going to say is I hope that they can investigate the second crash before they approve a third flight.
Thank you for that, Tara. Looks like Mr. Bing has left the building. But I got a question for you guys. What were y'all speaking about? Jonathan said there was a pre-conversation before this main conversation. Tara, what were they speaking about?
I wasn't on that conversation, so I don't know.
Anybody know what they were talking about?
Jerry, I did some extensive research, and it turns out that it is a fake story. But if you want to know the details of what we were talking about, even though it's a fake story, I can recap.
Oh no! If it's a fake, is it the thing about the guy cutting the thing
Yes.
off?
Yes.
Well, I got in trouble last time talking about that. I remember. You probably don't remember a couple years ago, and that other app kicked me off because my.
I remember.
And then your boy John Legier got mad at me because of what I was saying about that. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't want to get kicked off of this app because I'm a little too brutal for it. But listen, guys, remember the people.
Jerry.
Hmm?
Yeah, we restarting this whole damn thing over. I'm sorry. Danielle, we may go with a canned episode, but we're gonna restart this all over again. All right.
Okay.
So keep it going, man. Keep it going. We're gonna start this thing all over again. We got to go with something else. All right. And the reason being is
You don't have to say the reason why.
Yeah, the recording. Okay.
You know me, man. I bring my lunch pail. I bring my lunch pail, my Capri Sun, and my Pringles. I just go to work. Jonathan just tells me to come to work. I ask no questions. So, remember the other day when we were in the room? What's my new friend? Y'all remember, ladies, when I was talking to y'all and I said, y'all gonna jump in? Remember? Is it NAC? Carlos, are you there? Mr. Carlos, are you in the building? Oh, they come on. Well, Mr. Carlos, are you in the building, Carlos? Okay. Where's the lady at? NAC? Was her name DAC? You know your name. Come on, lady, help me out.
DJ Nice.
No. Dak.
Dak. She's here.
Okay, so Dak, remember the conversation? Y'all remember the talk that we had? We don't have to say what we was talking about. But remember I said, y'all all said y'all going to join in tonight when I'm up here. Remember, Dak? Jonathan, can y'all mute Jonathan? Mute Jonathan. Okay, Dak, do you remember that conversation, Dak? Oh my God, that's messed up, Dak.
Dak's not there, but I'm going to help you out, Jerry. I'm going to, if you don't mind, it's Angela.
How you doing, Angela?
Hey.
Oh, that's good.
I like Angela. I don't even know her.
Jerry. Yes, you do. You know me from back in the day. So
you know I like you. You know I like you because it sounds like you got fire in you. I hear it in your voice inflection.
Yeah, so this fire there. So I have a question. I was listening earlier and I heard Tira basically say how sad Gene Hackman's death was, and it was. There's no question. But I'd like to know how many times she basically mentioned the names Peyton McNabb, Laken Riley, and Jocelyn Nungary. I'd like to know how many times that she mentioned those girls' names. And the reasons why, I don't know if anyone knows who they are. We all should. But I wonder why she feels that that's so sad and how many times she's mentioned the sadness of those stories.
You want an answer, Angela?
I do want an answer.
Tira, please answer because I'm ready to chop it head off.
Shauna, I'm not talking to you ever.
I am answering.
Tira.
We were doing, Angela, perhaps you didn't know, but I was doing a dateline of things that happened today or yesterday. That's why I mentioned Gene Hackman, the things you're relating to did not occur yesterday. Thank you.
Damn, Angela ain't no joke.
Yeah. So Tira, do you find those other stories to be sad?
The fact that
Question.
you're asking me whether people who are killed by illegal migrants, of course they're sad. It's a terrible
Nope, you're
story.
wrong. Peyton McNabb was not killed by an illegal migrant. I'm bringing up these topics and wondering if you consider those stories sad. It is a simple question.
Why
It
are
is
you
a yes or a
attacking
no.
me and bringing these things up?
I'm
I don't
not.
under,
I'm just
yeah, no,
asking
you
you a
are
question.
actually. And
This that
you
I
seem
don't
to
think
have
this
an
Well,
is an
Jerry,
agenda.
wait,
What is your
one second, ladies.
agenda, Angela?
Ladies, one at a time, one at a time. Is that an attack though? I thought she was just asking you I mean,
No,
no,
no, no, no, no.
yeah.
She's asking you about people who were killed at various points, not this, I don't know, not this year, not in 2025, as far as I remember. And she's sort of suggesting that I should have raised them. I'm not sure why. And
one
so,
mic
yes,
on
this is an
Angela.
attack.
One
I'll
mic on
tell you why.
Angela.
At the top of the story, Jerry asked if there's anyone from the other side. It's difficult to stand alone, but I'm not opposed to doing so. And when I listened to the stories that came up, regardless, and I've heard you before and other persons on this call, and I'm not just pointing you out, Tira. I was just merely asking you a question, not as an attack. It was just asking a question, and you're able to answer those questions because I know that you are.
Well, but
And Peyton,
Angela, I
Tira, I
answered you.
wasn't
We're
done.
discussing the
I'm not.
news.
So
It's
here's
the news, and now you're
Wait a
now
minute,
even
guys.
after
We
I
got a
gave
showdown.
wait, even
One
after
moment.
I gave Angela
One moment,
here.
everybody. One mic on Angela and Tara. We got a showdown. Go ahead, Angela.
So Tara,
Jerry,
it wasn't to attack you. It was merely just to ask you a question. And I know that you're ready. You're ready for me. I
but
hear
no,
you.
no, no, no. This is the problem. We were doing debate the news of things that happened this week or yesterday, and now you're raising totally other things, one of which happened in 2022, and you're acting as if, why didn't I raise them? I didn't raise them because that wasn't the point of the show. What are you talking about? I don't even understand why you're doing this. What is
And
your
there
agenda?
and there's
Dumbass.
and there's the gaslight. And what I'm asking you is the three names that I just mentioned, none of which happened in 2022. The three names
Didn't
that I
Peyton
just
Gendron
asked
happen in 2022?
The three names that I just asked of you were basically mentioned in our president Donald Trump's speech. And all of the Democratic Party did not stand up to even remotely have a heart to any of those stories, and they relate to very important matters in our world today. So
What
the
you talking
reason
about,
why
Willis?
Divine, can you stop? The reason why I bring those up to you is because I heard you say that there was a very sad story about something, but I'm asking you, my ask of you was if you ever felt or mentioned those three names in any of your stories. That was just my ask. I wasn't attacking you, I was merely asking you a question.
Fine. The reason why I did not mention them is because we have just particular version of debate the news for the last what 3 months, something like that, and none of those things happened in the last 3 months, right? So that would not have been relevant for me to bring it up. You are being sort of irrelevant in bringing it up. Yes, everything, they are sad, but I don't understand why you would do them on a debate the news topical news show unless you have an agenda.
Were they relevant on Friday?
No, Angela, they were
Yes,
not. They
yes,
were
they are.
relevant when they happened.
They were
You have
relevant on
not been
Friday. They
around for
were
the pod.
relevant when they
You
happened.
have not been around for the new version with the podcast. So why don't you sit back, mute up, stay cute,
Well,
and
Shauna, if
listen and
you're
learn.
running the show, then if that's your direction, you're running the show. Then I sit
No,
All
back.
right,
she
all right,
no
guys.
no
All
no.
right,
One
real
second.
quick.
She's a
You
one second.
I
One
sit
second. One second.
back.
Shauna, Angela is okay. Everybody is all. We're all the same in here.
Yeah,
Angela's just rocking
yeah,
out. Let her
yeah.
rock.
Hey, Skull, are you here, Skull?
I'm here, Jonathan.
Yeah, we're about to do a redo, guys. I'm about to boom that other room, Jerry, and I'll come right back over. All right.
Can I finish talking
Uh,
to Angela and Shauna?
yeah.
Shauna, how are you, Shauna? Shauna.
I'm here. Yes, sorry, Jerry.
I was just saying hi. Look like Angela's a little firecracker. She got y'all on y'all heels.
No, it's just that Angela doesn't pay attention to the format. And now that you're back, and now that we have a podcast where we actually stream stuff, you all have put people in charge of doing the Dateline. So her going at Tira was inappropriate, just like when she tried to swerve off when Dak gave a very, very heartfelt share. So tonight, Angela needs to just go in her corner and think about all the things she's done wrong.
like the rest of the women in the world, Shauna. I don't go in a corner. But thank
Well,
you.
you should.
But I won't.
Girl, what?
Okay? But I won't.
Okay, well,
Firecracker. Y'all gotta. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Because
She's
they're gonna be talking.
nuts, Jerry.
How is she nuts, bro?
She
Just
will
because
be
she.
a victim in 3 seconds. Just wait for it.
You missed
Okay,
it,
I,
wait
Jerry.
for
You
it.
missed it. She tried to pivot. She said some old
well,
Nah,
racist
Divine,
shit.
you're
so
full of
She
shit,
tried to
Divine. You
deny.
always
I
are,
didn't
so.
even
Divine.
say that. When the whole
My
stage
Bronx
heard
boy,
what
my
you
Bronx
said, you see
buddy,
she
you
over
know that you
talking
and
me,
I are
but she
neighbors.
don't like truth. So she
You know
gonna
you and
try
I
to
are
drown
neighbors.
me
Stop the
out. But go ahead,
nonsense.
man. Go ahead.
Okay, stop the
Hey,
you know,
Divine,
nonsense.
she
Oh,
just called you her Bronx boy. I just thought I'd mention.
so this
Yeah,
is New
you know
York.
you
She's
and
a
I are
fool.
neighbors.
One mic, one mic,
Oh.
one mic, one mic, one mic. All right, Jerry, you ready to go ahead and get this thing started, man? You ready, man? Because damn. All right, so we're
I am ready, Mr. Bing.
all right. Jerry, go ahead. You play the music, man. I think your microphone's lower. Hey guys, on CH, did I shut them down yet? I didn't shut. Did I shut it down yet? No, I didn't.
We're
I shut
still here, but it's gotten a little better.
Jerry's mic. Jerry, before we go, Jerry,
It's lower.
because Jerry's gonna give.
A B C D E F G. Tell me what you think of me. Is it better? They're like, what's wrong with Jerry?
Yo,
And
Yeah, it's just, yes, it's better. I
it's
think.
better.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But hold on, something I did notice when people were speaking, Jerry, your mic was kind of picking up what the other speakers was saying. I don't know how that was possible, and they were kind of getting drowned out. So I don't know, you know what to do.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna try to see what to do. I'll just step back away from my mic. Are y'all ready?
That's on Bizzle. Are you ready, Bizzle? JB?
Shout out to Angela.
all right, Clubhouse. We're gonna close it down and reopen it. And guys, come right back.
Okie dokie.
Are we on timeout right now?
Yeah, we are. Just a moment.
we've all been naughty, Jerry, and sent to our corners.
No, not really. Y'all gotta just stop having when somebody don't agree with y'all with certain things. It's just a conversation. It's just everybody got an opinion.
Yep.
It's
Open
all,
it.
it's all subjective.
All right, you guys ready? Jerry, you ready?
Yes, sir, Mr. Bing. I'm ready. I'm such a good employee. Three, two. Is he ready? The suspense is incredible. Don't breathe. Don't breathe.
No, we had to wait for like Tyson to get over there. All right, ready? Let's do this, Jerry. Let's rock out. Jerry, first of all, hey guys, welcome to Debate the News on this the 7th day of March, Friday, 2025. Got a really great show here for you. Set lined up for you guys tonight. We have Elon versus Trump's cabinet, and we have Trump's schizophrenic, I guess, Russian views. That's what we're going to speak about. We're going to speak about a lot of other things, Jerry, as well. I'm excited to be here. Hey guys, if you guys are on CH, make sure you guys are modding everyone else up, bring them up to the stage. That way they can handle the stage properly, folks, properly. So, Jerry, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful, Mr. Bing. Thank you for asking, my brother. How are you doing on this beautiful Friday?
As always, Jerry, I'm on top of the world, man. On top of the world. Jerry, what's that? What's that person right there? Who's that?
Oh, is he here? Is he here? Is he
No,
here?
no. I know we got something. Who's that? Well, forget it. Well, anyway, Jerry, look, let's just jump right into this show, man. We got Skull. Skull has a hell of a dateline for us, hopefully. But do you want to bring us in with some like get us hyped up with that? It's time and all that other stuff, bro.
Okay, Mr. Bing, are you going? Okay, yes, I do, Mr. Bing. Let's go. So, everybody, you about to do the intro? Debate the news.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Warned you about this, DJ.
Let's go, Mr. Bing.
Hey guys, thank you guys for joining us here tonight. Hey, if you're listening to us on the podcast, be sure to make sure you guys wow, make sure you guys not only just download the Chatter Social app, download it and use it. And come over here and join us for a live conversation. All right, because guess what, folks? We do these rooms every night live, approximately 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, move to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys come join us live. Chatter Social. So whether you're on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn Radio, Pandora, wherever you may be, make sure you guys are following us first of all, and come join us over here on the Chatter Social app. Download it at either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Hey, if you guys are here in the room following us on the podcast up top, all you guys have to do is hit the link up top. Guys, follow that podcast. Leave us a review, and also make sure not just leave us a review. Download 10 episodes or so. Once again, download 10 episodes or so. So with that being said, folks, I'm excited about this show, Jerry. Hopefully you're just as excited as I am. Let me turn this back over to you, Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bing, for that incredible intro, my brother. I appreciate you for that. And welcome to Debate the News to all you wonderful people in this audience, especially people in the goo. So is Skull going to come in and do our Dateline? And I got the perfect person to do the other one, Angela. Is Skull locked and loaded, Mr. Bing?
Skull's locked and loaded. Angela, get us Angela. What we want from you is like 4 or 5 things, just headlines. No one's going to challenge you on them. You're going to be able to read those off to us after Skull's done, and then we're going to round it back up to. We're going to bring it back from that to La La Land, back to reality with Terror. Go ahead, Skull.
You're protected, Angela. Mr. Skull, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready to go, Jerry.
3, 2, nail it, go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Debate the News, called here with the liberal Dateline on March 7th, 2025. We are 44 days into the Trump presidency, and here's what's going on. A second federal judge has indefinitely blocked Trump's admin's freeze of federal grants. Once again, cancer research is being funded in this country, something I think we can all agree on. Trump has suspended a tariff, even though Canada has said they're going to keep theirs on. Looks like Canada's not blinking, but we might be. A federal judge has reinstated the National Labor Relations Board member after being unceremoniously dismissed. Additionally, Musk's Doge is continuing to cause havoc in Washington. Their reps tried to gain access to the federal child support office and earnings data of nearly all Americans. They don't have access to it yet. However, Doge actually went to the African Development Foundation. They were blocked. They went and got marshals with guns and went into that building to see what was going on. Lastly, Trump's attacks against law firms who are trying to block him continues as he's sanctioned yet again another office that is going against him. Lastly, we had the crypto conference going on in Washington, D.C., and I am coming to you guys live from Washington, D.C. myself.
Shout out to Skull. Thank you for that Dateline, my brother. I appreciate
awesome,
that.
Skull.
But I think we're about to do something really epic right now. I got a quick question, Miss Angela.
Yes.
Are you ready? Because I know you about to just. I'm gonna bring you in 3, okay? I'm from 3 to 1. I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to crush this, okay?
Yep.
Okay, Angela, you ready? Say 3, 2, get it, go.
Here's my question to all of you. The question is basically, when have we last said the names Peyton McNabb, Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nungary, DJ Daniel, and stood up for them and clapped and cheered them on and basically felt what we have all felt in our country? What is going wrong? What is going on? Where is right? Where is wrong? Do we realize what side we are falling on? Are we falling on right? Are we falling on wrong? Are we falling on what we want as individuals, or what we're falling on what we want as the American population, as our country? What are we doing, and where are our hearts? And when is the last time I have heard someone stand up for these persons, these maybe no-name persons, who maybe stand up for every single part of the individuals that we may be? When is that time? And that's what I stand for. I stand for these people. I stand for us as a country. I yield.
Thank you for that, Angela. Wow, she was built for this, Jonathan. Angela was built for this Dateline type of stuff.
What was that, a Dateline though?
Whatever, whatever.
No, it
What?
was just a
Wait,
political expression of her
it was
views. It was not a
opinion.
dayline.
Where's
Why?
the
About illegal
Dateline?
aliens.
Why so much hate on
No,
Angela?
respectfully. I love that Angela spoke up. She spoke well. It wasn't a Dateline. That's all I was saying. Just the
Angela,
clarification.
Angela, on behalf of Debate the News, I apologize to you.
I'm
No, on
sorry.
behalf of
I'm
Debate the
sorry. I'm
News, we
sorry.
appreciate you. Love it.
Mr. Bing, so I'm going to pass it to you, my brother. I don't know if you want to continue on with the Elon versus Trump, because before we stopped, you said something about something that was going on before, but someone said that was not true. They did a fact check.
No. That was about the pedophile. We were talking about the pedophile stuff. That's what wasn't true.
Okay.
Yeah. So once again, like I said, when it came from Cindy and she said X, that's why I preferenced when we were speaking before is recorded. That's I don't know how true it is, and I prefaced it with that. So I was confirmed not to be true, and that's why when we talk to people on the right, we always got to preface things with I don't know how true it is. But we got Tara. We got Tara here that can give us I guess help us out with that dateline.
Facts. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Tara.
I am not going to respond to Angela's non-dateline, which was certainly very nice of her to say, but not right in the right place. Just a few more things that happened. The Trump administration canceled $400 million to Columbia University, ostensibly because of its anti-Semitism, and I think we should expect more cuts to universities that did not that allowed student protests about Israel, etc. Robert F. Kennedy has asked the Department of Health and Human Services, has asked the Center for the CDC to study vaccines and autism, not the causes of autism, but vaccines and autism, because I think he is still looking for that link. Gene Hackman, we discussed, is very, very sad story. His wife died apparently a week before he did of hantavirus, which is typically you come into contact with rat feces, things like that. And she was only like 60 something and he was 30 years older, but she died. He had Alzheimer's, a heart condition, etc. So he was presumably wandering around the house. He probably didn't even feed himself. I mean, we don't know what happened, but it's just a very sad story. Trump he's finally finished naming people to the board of the Kennedy Center. Our final entries on the board are Laura Ingraham and Maria Bartiromo. At the same time, Lin-Manuel Miranda said that the version of Hamilton, which was going to appear there, will no longer be performed at the Kennedy Center because they are not representative of America in many ways. The Trump administration is planning more cuts. They are going to be cutting the VA by 70,000 people. I think there are 470,000 people in the VA employed, so that's a 15% cut. Almost 20%. So that's going to really impact veterans services, et cetera. And the Trump administration has been cutting off Ukraine's access to security information, to satellite information, et cetera, which is and has led to Ukraine being unable to defend itself from Russian attacks. So Trump is really putting his finger on the scale there, as he has in the past, in favor of Russia, because he's literally not giving Ukraine the tools that they need to even fight on their own. Thanks.
Tara, first and foremost, Trump didn't want that Hamilton anyway. That's definitely a DEI cast, So
They could have made it with all white people, They didn't have to.
that's what I
It could have
said. He's
been.
like, he's like, what? They're not using a white
If
Hamilton?
I
Get out
say
of
that,
here.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
They
If
got
I
a
say
black
that,
George Washington. Get out of here.
if I say that, I get scolded.
No, we're talking about Hamilton, bro. We're talking about the show Hamilton.
Hamilton was it's very multicultural. I saw it in New York 3 times, in fact, and Lin-Manuel Miranda was playing the lead, and he is Hispanic, and George Washington was black, etc. I don't know the cast that he was planning on bringing to the Kennedy Center, but we would assume that it was very multicultural.
Exactly. So yeah. So I want to, yeah. Also, we're talking about Hamilton, and wow, go ahead, Jerry. I had something else. You jumped in.
Can I have a turn?
Yeah.
Tara, what did you say about vaccines and autism? Is that something Kennedy's looking into?
Well, here's the thing. Kennedy, even though there have been many studies, certainly on the MMR vaccine and autism, saying there's no link, and there have been many studies just vaccines in general and autism. Kennedy does not believe those studies, so he is authorizing or asked for another study. Now, when he first came in, he said he was going to look for the causes of autism, but I'm not aware that he's asked for a general study on that. He actually said he would know the causes within 2 weeks, so obviously that didn't happen. But I don't think that he's asked for anything more than a study of vaccines and autism, which will be yet another study.
So he does not agree with a particular finding of a particular study. Well, I guess one would have to wonder who did that study that he doesn't agree with.
There
But you
have
know
been
me, Terry.
about
I
40 years of studies, Jerry, one of which
I
was
know.
500,000 people in Denmark,
I know. I know.
500,000
I know.
kids, so it's a lot.
I know. I know. But how big is the pharmaceutical business? How big is that's a whole nother story. But how big is the whole hustle on vaccines? I know Dr. Catherine don't want to hear this, but you know how I feel about all this vaccine talk. I'm with Kennedy on that. Definitely dig deeper. I'm with that 100%.
You
Mr.
know,
Bing.
yeah, bro. I get that, Jerry. Um, but Tara was talking about. She spoke about the 400 million to the colleges. It seems as if we're now becoming more of a totalitarian. I don't know. It's like we have to align with the government uh, in order to get funding. Is that what it is now? I mean, what made this country so great? Because when you look at I think NYU, and you look at some of those other universities, they're not conservatives. So trying to force conservative values on them. I mean, we don't want our universities to be conservative. I'm sorry. We want our universities to be free thinkers, and within that, people that some of the greatest things, some of the greatest inventions in the world happen as a result of these free thinking universities. Look at Meta coming out of Harvard, and just all these other things. If you are trying to push these conservative values, it's going to, I think, put us behind the eight ball. I mean, when you look at those Arab countries, they're predominantly Muslims, and they're predominantly Muslim, and so they adhere to that. And what they do is they don't they do oil. They're not bastions of innovation like over here in the U.S. and China. They're not they follow the communist lines. They're not bastions of innovation over there. They take our technology and they improve upon it. You know, so I mean, Tara, correct me if I'm wrong in what I'm saying. Anyone, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
Here's what's happening, and it is really unfortunate. Not only is there pushback against just grants, for medical studies that are really not very partisan issues in general, and it seems like Doge doesn't really understand some of these studies and has taken against them. But what you also saw, and this one really bothered me, was that the Ed Martin, who's the acting District of Columbia District Attorney, sent a letter to Georgetown Law School and said, do you have any DEI in your curriculum? Because if you do have any DEI in your curriculum, you don't take it out, we're never going to hire anyone from your school again, more or less. Think about that.
Wow.
And that, I mean, it was extraordinary. And the dean, to his credit, wrote back and said, you have no right to interfere with our curriculum and to try and penalize our students because of this is like a free speech violation. But it's pretty extreme what they're doing. Scald mentioned that they literally had taken security clearances away from the law firm that represented Hillary Clinton when she was looking for the Steele dossier because they don't like him. He doesn't like them. I mean, we are seeing sort of unprecedented government intrusion into free speech, in my view, in ways that I think would surprise some people if they really looked at some of these things. Now, some of these things will not, all the executive orders, many of them won't actually happen. And they all say, subject to law, and they'll all be challenged. But we are living in a time where basically the government is telling universities exactly what to teach and what happens if they don't teach it in that way. And that to me is scary.
And I'd like to point out that this Perkins Coie hit. This is not the only law firm that's been hit. So he also just went after another one here. Give me a second. Let me pull up the name because like this just happened. Covington and Burling. Yeah, so Covington and Burling is another one in addition to Perkins Coie. So basically, these law firms that are opposing his policies and things like that, he's now targeting them directly, pulling their clearances, pulling their government contracts.
And saying they cannot contract with government contractors. Like, in other
Well,
words, if you're a
yeah,
contractor of the government, you can't hire these people.
I
Actually trying to say they can't even go into federal buildings.
I mean, I don't see how this is going to pass the sniff test of any court. I mean, this is incredibly targeted.
No, I actually
It
think
seems
it
very
will.
unfair. Yeah,
Scald, I think it will, because
you think it
the thing
will?
is, the president has the right to withhold security clearances. That's clearly within his purview. Now, the reason he's doing it, I think, is wrong and might not pass the sniff test. But if he just says national security reasons, he can get away with this. I don't know how far he can take it. Can he stop contractors from, contract using these law firms? But I don't think contractors are going to use these law firms, are they? Why would they take the risk? So essentially, I think he actually can get away with this, and it's sort of scary stuff.
Absolutely. Now, guys, listen to me. So, if anyone disagrees with anything you've heard so far, because I have a different perspective on what you guys heard so far, because what we're listening to right now, as I sit here and hear this thing over and over again, is Tara, myself, and Skull. We jumped in and we said some things that pretty much. When we spoke about the school and the curriculum. Anyone here disagrees with anything? I have a different perspective. Is Angela still here?
Well,
Angela,
I have a question. What do
let's
y'all
go.
think about the University of Virginia's board voted against DEI in all aspects? What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on that? That just happened, I believe, today.
University of Virginia board voted against. What do you mean by that?
Against all, so there will no longer be any DEI sectors in their college. So basically, the board was made of 17 voting members, and they basically voted to close its diversity, equity, and inclusion office. Basically, all aspects of DEI in the University of Virginia. That was basically just brought out today. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I see
Okay.
that. And, they're following other large universities right here in Columbus, the Ohio State University. We're very serious about our pronouns. It's the Ohio State University. Don't get it twisted. There's definitely a "the" in that name. However, they got rid of their DEI office last week, and the students are already raging about it. There's posts all over the OSU subreddit and all over town here about how they're capitulating in advance and that they should fight against this. I see here University of Virginia votes to end it, and they said DEI is done at the University of Virginia, and that was a statement directly from the the board. So
That's
that's
right.
interesting.
That just happened today. Don't you believe that DEI is a form of discrimination? Jonathan, that's
I'm
to you,
laughing at
Jonathan.
you. I'm laughing at you.
I
You
know
poor
you
white.
always do,
You,
though, but that's
you
okay. I
poor
laugh
white
with you.
woman.
There you go with the white woman. There you
No,
go.
stop,
There you
stop,
go.
stop,
Pointing a
stop,
finger
stop.
at me. You don't even see me.
The
But
Angela,
yep.
stop. Angela. The reason I say that
Go ahead. Go ahead.
is that DEI, believe it or not, DEI helped you more than it helped me. Okay, that's why
You
I'm
might be.
laughing at you.
You might be. You might be right. You might be
No,
right in saying that. But
I might
don't you
be. No,
believe?
no. The biggest
Don't you believe it
benefactor.
should be merit based? Merit based, and how
It
hard
is
you work.
merit based.
Okay.
DEI doesn't say it's not merit based. That you come on, you get I'll borrow Daphne line. Yeah, both things can be true at the same time. But no,
I
it's
love that line. I missed what you guys were talking about, but I love that line. Yeah.
okay. So when you talk about DEI has benefited white women more than any group of people out there. So
In what
you
way?
know,
In
huh?
what way? In what way?
In every freaking way,
Tell me
every
one.
way.
Tell me one. Tell me two ways.
I
Hiring,
can something.
okay, education.
Explain. Please elaborate, if you will, please, Jonathan. In two
Tara,
ways. Could you
Tara, do you
elaborate?
want to explain? Anybody else want to explain? Because I don't want to explain being a
Please
black man.
So
explain two
listen,
ways. Two
No,
two
I want it to be
things.
more. I think it'd be more digestible coming from someone else other than
Okay,
me,
so two
because I'm a big
things.
angry black guy.
First of all, the
Jonathan.
assumption, the underlying assumption, Angela, behind your question is that DEI means that the people who are hired are not meritorious, right? They're hired because of their skin color, their sex, their race, whatever, but they're not hired because they have skills and talents. That is a fallacy. That is untrue. What DEI says is we should broaden our hiring to make sure that we don't leave people behind. What it doesn't say is, and hire people who are stupid or not
Where
competent,
where
etc.
does it say that, Tara?
Doesn't, it's not in the, there's no definition per se. You understand? It's
Exactly.
not like there's a definition
Exactly.
at the
So when I
federal
hear you
level.
speak
But what I'm
about what
saying
DEI
is it
means,
has been, stop, just
you don't know
TC,
what
stop.
DEI means because
See,
there
I
is
do
no
actually.
definitive DEI
There is no
policy.
definitive DEI, but people assume, like Angela, and I guess
You
like
know what
you,
No,
happens
no,
when
no, no,
people
no. I'm
assume,
not
right?
assuming.
people assume.
Not assuming
TC,
anything.
can I
Not
finish,
assuming.
TC? Can someone tell TC to shut up while I'm talking? Thank
I
you.
know.
Can you shut
Okay,
up while
shut
she's
up,
talking?
TC.
Thank you.
So here's the,
DC,
thank you,
shut
Daphne.
up.
No problem.
So here's the thing, that the assumption being made by people who hate DEI is that people who have no, credentials, et cetera, being hired uh, over and above these incredibly qualified white men, because those are the only people who are not benefiting from DEI. Now, this, as we all know, incredibly mediocre white men who have roles and who get jobs because their fathers know people or they get in whatever, it's really a stupid assumption. There probably are some places which have quotas, which I don't agree with, in terms of saying we have a certain percentage of X, Y, and Z. I don't think that's the right way to go. But I think the idea of opening up the hiring process, for example, if you're trying to hire and you don't go to HBCUs, you should be going there, right? And that's what a lot of organizations did. They basically opened things like that to encompass schools that are traditionally more black, et cetera. And that's a good thing, because you're missing out on some incredibly talented people if you don't do that. So I think part of the problem here is the underlying assumption always is that it means we're hiring people who are not worth hiring, but that's not true. Now, if you're telling me that that is true in certain cases, I don't agree with that. I would not agree with that, but I don't think we have shown that that is true.
So
So,
Tara,
so
here's my
Nobody
question
knows
to you.
what
Hold on, TC.
DEI
one,
Hold
one,
on,
is.
one mic
TC.
on, one mic on Angela. One mic on
Hold
Angela,
on,
guys.
TC. If you let me. So Jonathan basically said that it helps me as a white woman more than it helps anyone else. And I asked you for two reasons, and I didn't hear not one. Not one.
And I'd
It,
like to
so
respond.
so
Okay,
so if you can give me the two reasons as to how it helps me as a
okay.
white woman as far as DEI, I'd appreciate that. And
Okay,
then I
so
have
there are
something else
You're
several,
to
gonna
there are
call
follow
me
that
many,
up.
there are
white?
many federal programs that actually say that a
What's it say?
female-owned business will be given priority, for example, over certain other businesses. There are scholarships that go just for women, et cetera, things like that.
Okay,
And
here's the thing.
what
What?
if
One second,
guys,
Angela. 1 second. Let me
Jonathan,
just.
Jonathan, you were she couldn't defend what you said, so I think we should pass it to TC to see what
No,
he
no,
has to
no,
say.
no, this is not it.
Well, she didn't come up with
Oh
any
my
reasons.
God, the privilege, the
She
privilege.
no, it
Listen to
has
me.
nothing to
No, no, no. This is a show that I'm curating. Okay, with Daphne Christine.
This
The
is a show that you're destroying,
so
John. This is
No,
a
and
show
I'm
that
the
okay,
was
only white
good.
woman
okay.
that's gonna
One
say
second,
that.
TC. All right. So with that being said, where's that at, guys? Boom. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Um. Here's the thing, guys. So with that being said, so anyway, let me go first and foremost here. As a white woman, okay, white women, the statistics are clear. All right, they're clear. You receive more benefit from DEI than anyone. That's not even debatable, disputable. That's right there. You can look it up. All right, because and the only thing in DEI, and so people are forced. You said are forced to hire inadequate people. That's not true. People are just encouraged to look at people that they sometimes would not have looked at. All right, and that's what it is. Now, women, DEI is about it handles gender, and women in general have been looked over. Okay, so white women. Okay, that's why white women have benefited. They've gotten hires, they've gotten contracts at a higher rate than any other group of people as a result of DEI. Okay, I'm gonna let you know a little secret as well. The same thing happened with affirmative action. Okay, when you guys killed affirmative action, You guys were the biggest beneficiary of affirmative action. Okay, but what happens is white men tell you guys, oh, da, 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 and you guys believe that, oh, this is horrible, this is bad. Look what they're doing. It's helping the blacks. It's helping the Hispanics. It's doing this. It's doing that. What and you guys, you listen. You don't look no further. You're like, oh my God, this is awful. Yeah, they're forcing them to be included. But what they didn't tell you is, hey, you guys, it's helping you guys. All right. The Secret Service woman that got fired at the Trump got shot, they fired her because, oh, she's a DEI hire. That's what they said. Okay, Amy Coney Barrett just voted, went against Trump. Guess what they call her? DEI hire. They fired two people from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Guess what? One was a black. He was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Historical hire, very qualified, 4-star general. They replaced him with a white 3-star general that didn't meet the qualifications that they had to do a special waiver for. Okay. Oh, and by the way, the other person, a white woman. Okay. The general, okay, that he kicked out of that house was a white woman. Okay. That pilot that was flying, and they call her DEI hire. That pilot that was flying a helicopter had an accident. Guess what? She DEI. White women, you guys are being called DEIs left and right, and you're doing it as well, and you don't even realize you're doing it. Okay, and you're even acknowledging that you guys are benefiting from DEI while you guys are calling Amy Colbert Barrett, okay, the woman from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, okay, the general that was fired. All these women that are being fired, okay, fired, white women are being called DEI. And if you don't agree, if they don't agree with them, Amy Colbert Barrett was a hero until she voted against Trump earlier this week on something, and now she's a DEI. So you got to start listening to the language and the rhetoric. So the DEI, we actually, black people, they're the face of it, okay? They demonize it, okay? But they demonize it that way. That way you go to sleep like this right here while they go back and they take all the privileges back for themselves. The only person that can complain about a DEI that really is white men. That's the only person that can complain about DEI. White men. Okay. Everyone else benefits from DEI. Okay. And you know what? There you go. Angela, the mic's yours.
Oh,
Amy Coney
yeah,
Barrett was never considered a DEI hire. The reason why I and you continue to say you and refer to me, and I accept it from you, Jonathan, because I adore you as a white woman, and to me it is irrelevant, right? When I want people up in the airplanes flying a plane, when I want someone putting together a company, when I want someone running a company, when I want someone doing something or keeping me safe or etc., I don't care what color, race, or creed they are. I don't care what they believe in. I don't care if they celebrate Easter or Hanukkah. I don't care if they're from the Boogie Down Bronx, where I am from, or from Beverly Hills. I less. I care that they have the ability and the merit based upon which they are hired to do the job they are hired to do. Period, point blank, end of story. And I think if they are hired based on any other reason, that is discrimination. And it is discrimination against women like me with big boobs, because I get hired no matter what. Or black men or women or Hispanic men or women or Asian men or women. I don't give a damn what you are. It's got to be merit based. And if we are teaching our kids in our colleges anything, it must be, especially in this generation when things are so goddamn hard for these kids and we're giving them all of this damn debt. We have to teach our kids that it's got to be based on merit. And if we as adults and as parents are not seeing that, we're screwing up our kids. Period. Point blank. I yield. Thank you very much.
Can I
One
Hey,
just
question.
say,
Jonathan,
can
this
I
is
just
Well,
say
Rachel. I
one
have a
thing?
question
Hey,
for.
Rochelle,
Wait, I
before
just want to say
I want Terry to
one
go first, and then I want
one
Rochelle to
Okay.
go.
thing. The idea behind your entire discussion is that America is a meritocracy, but it's not. Everyone knows that, okay? Any person of sense would know that people with wealth and influence do much better in the world, that people who know people do better. It's all, nepotism is wild all over the place. People who have disabilities do worse in general. People who are of lower economic standard, upbringing generally do worse. Not that there aren't exceptions. Of course there are exceptions, but everyone knows that it is much harder for certain people to do better. So your entire thing is resting upon, I've got to teach my kids it's a meritocracy. No, it's
I call
actually not.
bullshit.
And what
That's
we're
bullshit.
trying to do is make it closer to a meritocracy by opening the doors up to people who don't have that advantage that you apparently have.
I
Thank you.
don't have any advantage over anyone else,
Yes,
Tira.
you do.
What
You got
makes you
big boobs. You just said it.
no? What makes you say?
I
Hold
guess
on a minute.
Hooters, if you
So
wanted to work for
no,
Hooters,
no,
you would.
no,
I
no.
don't
Wow,
know.
you
So
spilled it. Come on.
oh, ha, ha, ha. So
No,
Tira, just because hold on, Tira. So you're discriminating against the fact that just because I'm white, I have a more of advantage than someone else. Are you
Of
discriminating and
course you
being what?
do. The fact that you
Tell
don't
me
know that
how.
is what's
The
extraordinary to
enlightenment in
me.
here
Well,
tonight.
The
why don't you?
fact that you
Yo,
do not
you're,
know that is amazing,
yo,
Angela.
Yeah, enlighten me as to how.
yo,
your skin, your skin is
Welcome,
Michelle,
white.
you want to
Oh,
go
my
welcome
first? Then
to
I
skin,
the
my
can.
debate the
skin, my
news.
skin, my skin. I got it now.
What
Now
about
it
you?
explains
Exactly.
it. Explains
You
it all.
you you
So
were
I
born
should
white.
just be
yo,
hired to fly a
yo.
plane just because I'm white, right? Wait, so I should be hired to fly a
Hey,
plane because I'm white.
Angela, that burden of that white skin, I know it's heavy.
No, no, and no
You're
one
gonna
is
hire
saying
me
you
to
should.
fly a
In
plane
fact,
because I'm
you are
white.
the last person I would want to hire flying my plane, quite
You
frankly.
better damn
But
well be you're
what I'm just saying
100%.
is your underlying assumption is that this is it's not a merit-based system, and that DEI is basically hiring unqualified people. Why do you think that?
That's
Why do you
right.
think that?
That is exactly right. You hit the nail on the head, Tira. Now we're on the same page. Thank the good Lord.
Oh, you think that. I don't think that, but you think that.
The
Why do you
world
think
thinks
that?
that. You don't
Why
think
are you
that.
assuming that? Why are you assuming that? Why are you assuming that the white helicopter pilot who's a woman is worse than the white helicopter pilot who's a man? Why is that your assumption?
You know that wasn't the assumption. The assumption is
Of course
basically
it's your
based on
assumption. That's behind everything you've been
the
saying.
assumption basically is this. If someone else is standing in front of someone else, diversity, equity, inclusion would mean that someone should be based on their race, creed, or color as opposed to their merit. We should be based on our qualifications. Do you not believe that?
But
That's
that
not the
is you don't
definition
understand
of
that that's your
DEI.
assumption,
Sure
that
it
it
is.
means that.
Do you
I'm
not
sorry, Cher.
believe do you not believe that we
Rochelle,
should be
Jonathan,
hired
Rochelle.
based on our qualifications? Do you believe we should be hired based on our qualifications, Tira?
Here's
You
the thing. I
It's a
reject your
simple
assumption.
question, but you can't
I
answer it, so
reject
I yield.
Angela,
You are so entitled.
I reject your assumption. And your assumption is that somehow, if you're hiring people, that they're not meritorious. And I've asked you 3 times, why are you making that assumption? Why is that the assumption behind everything you're saying here? I would like other people to weigh in because I don't want to have this just between me and Angela. But what I'm
Exactly.
saying is, your assumption is
I,
wrong.
No,
Now,
it's not an assumption.
I,
I'm
it
asking you a
is. No, it's
question.
an assumption. I want the best people hired for the particular job in question, but I make no assumptions about whether someone who's a white male is going to be better automatically than somebody else. You're the one making the
Perfect.
assumptions
You
that the
just
other people are not.
you just basically explained the argument. So you believe someone should be hired based on their merit and qualifications as opposed to race, color, creed, correct?
I think the best
you're
person
so
should be hired, but what I also think is
Oh my
sometimes the
God.
best person has different qualifications than what you might think are good qualifications.
What do
So,
you
for
mean
example,
I'm not hiring them.
you're Angela. I know you're not hiring anyone. Clearly, you've never. Well, I don't know that you
Oh
have
my
or
God.
not.
Clearly what, Tira? To disagree
Angela,
with
I
you?
think you are bigoted. I'm just going
bullshit.
to say it out there. I think you have an
Thank
That's
you.
underlying
okay. You
bigotry that
can
is really awful. And I
you
think,
can say that. You can
well,
say
I
Empress,
that.
did
But
say it.
as
the
long as we believe, you and I both believe, that whoever is being hired to fly our planes or control whatever portions of the government or any companies, it shouldn't be based on an exception to the rule, but it should be based on the rule of being qualified and merit based. As long as you and I agree on the same thing. Am I right on that?
No,
Oh,
you're
okay.
misstating my argument. My argument is
Okay. So we
that if
can't
you
ask you
do
a
not
question.
if you do not reach out to everyone, you will never know who is the most qualified, and positions have different qualifications. For example, if I'm in a certain situation, there might be someone who's a better fit for the situation, depending on a variety of factors that I can't even begin to describe right now, right? Is it better to have a black policeman patrolling a black neighborhood? Maybe. Somebody else should weigh in on that because I am not black and can't say that. But, does anyone else have a view on that? My
It
assumption
sounds
would be it
very
might be
racist.
better.
So if you apply for the job and you have the qualifications for the job, you may not get hired because you're not associated with the right neighborhood. I don't understand what you're saying.
So,
If
Angela,
you
let me step
apply
in
for
for
a
a
job,
second. Let me step in for a second, Angela.
yeah.
So, let me ask you a question. Okay. If people are qualified to do the same job, and every time only one demographic is getting the job when they're qualified, and then you institute something that covers the entire other end of the spectrum, whether it be woman, disabled, veteran, immigrant, whatever you want to call it, so that they can then have a seat at the table to which they're qualified for. Why do you see there being a problem with that?
What if you made it a blanket? It didn't matter who you were, what you looked like, what
Hmm.
race you were, but
Hmm.
whomever is the best qualified person for the job, that would be the one who would be hired.
So
What
so
about
that's you
that?
that's utopia. That's what we would love
Right.
to be the case. But are
That
you
is what I'm
saying
talking
are no, no,
about.
no, are you saying that that is the case, or have you seen systemically that that has not been the case?
It's
That the
definitively not the case and has not
Okay,
been the
there you
case,
have
but
it. There you
that
have
is
it.
what no, 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 not there
There,
you have it. That
yeah.
is what we're talking about.
No, you
By
talked about
taking
a
away,
utopic idea of what it should be and how it should be, and
we're talking
you just acknowledged that that is not systemically what it has been.
it's
So
not
if
a matter of it's not a matter
if
of
So,
it's not
systemic. It's
what
not a
they've
matter of
been doing,
systemic
if it's not what has been done, okay, whereas what you believe it should be, then why is there an issue with putting a mechanism in place to make it more utopic, which
because
is what it should be?
putting a mechanism in place that
Hmm.
assures that it goes the other way as
It doesn't
opposed
assure
to
anything.
hold
But
on
go ahead.
as opposed to being the entire group, the entire group being based entire
No,
all of us, I'm a woman, right? I'm a minority, so all of us being put in the same pool and deciding upon merit and qualifications to do the right job. That is the
Everyone's
way
not
it
in the
should be,
pool,
and
Angela.
that's where we're trying to get
You
to.
just
Do you
acknowledged that that
understand?
has not been the case. And so we're
It
trying to get
hasn't been.
there.
We've had a
Yet
Okay.
president.
Okay.
You're
DEI
Okay.
right.
was a
All right,
It
guys.
mechanism.
hasn't been.
One
It
mic. One mic.
hasn't
One mic.
been, but we
One,
hope to get
one
there
mic.
now.
One mic. One mic. One mic. One mic. One mic. Yeah. Let's give it a little break, guys. Hey, guys. Welcome to Debate the News. Jerry Malcolm, how you feeling, bro? Yeah, I see you when you got some wine. I saw you when you got a bottle of wine, man. Man, oh man. First of all, what do you think of Angela?
You're on mute, Joe. You're on mute.
Yeah, mute Jerry. Jerry, yep. All right, so while Jerry's getting off mute there
well,
you go,
you
Jerry.
said, what do I think of Angela? Well, first of all, you said something about my wine. I said, with Angela here, I need some wine with Angela here. Then you asked me another question. Your question was, Jerry, what do you think of Angela? And my
Yes.
answer was, I love Angela. You know why? Let me tell you why I love her. I may not agree with everything she's saying, but I respect how she's standing 10 toes down against everybody. That's why I love a woman.
Absolutely. Angela's coming in with that bullshit. But she has some big boobs though, Jerry.
Got it, Jonathan.
Full disclosure, I don't like boobs. I like booty.
That too.
Yeah,
She's literally
We know
no,
agreeing
that.
no,
and
Jerry.
disagreeing.
She's asking for a meritocracy, but she says she gets hired because of her big boobs, and I
I
don't have the
didn't
big
say
boobs.
that. I didn't say
Yes, you
that
did.
either.
Yes, you
No,
did. You
no, I
said
didn't,
I
exactly
heard
that.
that.
Shauna. No,
I
I
did
didn't,
hear that.
Oh,
Shauna.
and we have it recorded,
No,
so
I
we will
did.
play it back.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't say I get hired for that, Shauna. I didn't say that, Shauna.
Oh, yes,
Well,
you
you did
did,
Now
you
I
mention it.
little
said
Why would that
chipmunk
I
relate
said
liar.
it
into
would be it
anything?
would
You
be
mentioned
Let
it.
me
easy.
look at her boobs. Where's she at?
It
Where's
would
she
be
at?
Nothing.
easier for
Angela,
me.
Angela, get up here on camera.
Get on camera so we can see those
Nah,
boobs.
nah, it's okay. It would be easier for me, but I don't take the easy way out. Obviously, as you can see that.
That's not what I said. You're
Angela, you're a good
silly.
sport. We appreciate you for that.
Thanks, Daphne. I love you, girl. I swear
Love
I
you
do.
right
Oh my
back.
gosh! All
Dang,
right,
what
so
about me? I
hey,
gave you love too. She was like, yeah,
I
I gave
love you,
her.
Jerry, too. You
Jerry, you're
know that
smooth with the
from day
ladies.
one. OG, I love you.
Thank you.
man, oh man. So look, guys, we just wanted to take a little break. Hey, if you're not following the podcast, make sure you guys go up, download. Jerry, tell them download some episodes, man. You guys
I
got
keep
down.
you know what, John? I'm trying to tell them they got to go back to 2022, early 23. They're going to trip out when they hear the stuff that we were talking about and how we were talking about it. They're going to see a different side of Jonathan. They're going to see a different side of Grant, and they definitely going to see a different side of me because hey guys, I didn't have the handcuffs on back then. That's an inside joke. But look, so go go listen to some of those early episodes. Y'all are going to absolutely love them, and leave some comments. It helps with the algorithms. Yes, Mr. Bing. Hey, I like this conversation today, Jonathan. I really do. It's like it's just a little different. It's a little different. I
Jerry,
like it.
I like it too because she came in and she I was gonna say stuck her chest out, but but after she said what she said, I think her chest sticks out all the time. But she came and stuck her
No pun
chest out.
intended.
She came in and stuck her chest out and said, like get rid of this DEI. And I'm listening to this DEI person say, get rid of this
He
DEI.
said this DE. He said I'm listening to this DEI person. Let's let that breathe for a second. Angela, what do you think about Angela? What do you think about the fact that you're a DEI person and you're saying this
This is
about DEI?
stereotyping. I'm not a DEI person. I look. I'm a single
She's a
mother
white woman,
raising.
so she's white. She's not
Stop,
DEI.
stop, stop with stop with the stereotypical. She's a white woman. I'm a single mother. I work my damn ass off. You know, I real estate, Jonathan. I sent you. I send you people. You know, I
Yeah, you did. You did.
care.
Of course, we do
I do.
business.
I do. I have. I'm raising two daughters, and the thoughts go through my minds, and I have to stand up for what I believe in. I believe in working hard. I believe in doing. I just believe in doing the thing. I believe in doing the thing. I'm born and raised in Bronx, New York, right next to Divine.
I got a question for you, Angela.
I
Do
believe in
you
doing
think
the thing.
do you think there's some other people that believe in working hard too? And
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes they may not necessarily get the same opportunity.
Yep. Agreed. I
Not the
Oh,
agree with
DEI
you.
people.
I agree 100% with you on that. I do. I absolutely do.
Jerry, she doesn't understand that white women benefited more, and I try to tell her that. She's still thinking like, no, no, no.
I think she does. She just did.
No,
Well,
she doesn't. She doesn't think white women are DEI.
Angela.
Angela, you recognize that, correct?
Listen, we are part of a minority, right? We're women, so women are a minority,
Black
and
women and white women, or just like yeah, which
Black women, black women, and Asian women.
women, women is a group of minority. I look, I appreciate all of our
I
minorities. I do, I
okay.
appreciate, but we are part of a minority. I mean, we weren't able to vote when white men were also, so we were part of that
Oh,
minority
are you
group. So,
are you serious? You couldn't
that was
vote. Oh.
yeah, yeah, I'm not sorry for myself in any
No, I'm
way,
just
shape, or
saying,
form.
Jonathan, just imagine that. The white women couldn't vote.
Women,
There
not
Oh.
white.
is.
I didn't say white. I said women.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Sean's
sorry.
trying to jump
Well,
in here too,
wait,
guys.
definitely
That's
not.
yeah.
Look at
Look,
John. There he
white
go.
women.
There he
Yeah,
go.
white.
Trying to get
No,
me.
no, no. White women. Listen to me. You guys are a minority, Angela.
He's
Okay,
so
you
funny.
guys are the biggest. I'm sorry, the biggest benefactor of DEI. Man, I wish. You guys, it's sort of like welfare. More, you guys. It's when you want to demonize it, you put a face on it that you can demonize it with. Okay, but you guys are taking all the benefit and all the credit from DEI. Okay, you guys, we benefited less, than anyone. Okay, black men, handicaps, white men has benefited from DEI if they're gay, if they're veterans, and things of that nature. DEI is open to everyone. The people that benefit from DEI more so than anyone, okay, is white women. They're the biggest benefactor by far. So I just want to put that out there. And you guys were the biggest benefactor of affirmative action, but you guys killed that. You didn't know anything about that. So when you guys are getting contracts or you guys are getting jobs, and they don't tell DEI people, okay, that they're DEI. They tell people, congratulations, you got the job. That's what they tell people. You got the job.
Exactly. And Jonathan, this is Nurse Share. I just wanted to chime in and say
Hey,
that in the
Nurse Share.
United States, hi, in the United States of America, women in general are not minorities. They make up about half of the population.
Yeah, but
Okay,
they're
so
considered disadvantaged, and they're considered disadvantaged, and they are a part of the DEI, and
I
that's why
agree,
they.
but she made the statement that women are minorities, and that's
but
not the
they
case.
are. They always have been. They always will be. And to that end, so you would expect that if I come in to get hired, you would want to hire this white woman to fly your plane as opposed to someone who actually has merit based and has the qualifications to do so. And if you believe that, I don't. As a white woman, I renege whatever status that you're putting me on. I believe that those who are hired to do a job should be by qualification and merit. To me, it's that simple. It just is. To me, anything other than that is discrimination and borderline racism. So that's how I feel, and I end
I
there.
feel like you keep balancing the fence though. Like
And
like like
what
like Rochelle just literally laid a foundation of why DEI would include everybody. And you agreed before she broke that down that systematic wise people take control of those circumstances. So I don't know how you stand 10 toes down, but you literally agreed to what Rochelle said, but you tried to not to agree to her words at the
I
same
have
time.
said,
So
I've
you're
said
like
time and
balancing.
time again, I've said time and time again, and I probably have said it 3, 4 times, and I'll say it again, that those who are hired should be based on qualifications and merit and not on race, creed, or color. I've said it over and over again. I can't say it
She
any other way.
sure
I can't say
Angela,
it
did.
in a
Angela,
different
I'm
but
gonna
but
jump in
language.
here. I'm gonna jump
That's
in
all
here.
I can say.
Yeah,
I'm
her
gonna jump
saying
in.
that
This
and using
Laura.
that for her basis proves that she doesn't understand the definition of
Yeah,
DEI, though. That's what
exactly.
she's missing.
And here, let me give you some
What
stats,
is the
folks.
definition?
This is not just about
Google it.
getting into the. Wait, can you hear me?
I
Go
Can you hear
ahead,
will.
me,
Laura.
Jonathan?
One,
We
one
hear
mic.
you,
Yeah,
Laura.
One mic
I
on
can't.
Laura.
Yeah, this is not just about getting in the door. Okay, we need to open up the door, but once you get in the door, you also have to get paid at parity. The fact is on exact same positions, white women make 78% of white men, and black women make 65% of white men. It isn't so. It's way more than just getting in the door. So yes, do we all want the best person for the job? Yes, that's true. But the facts are the facts. It's also the facts that it sense because companies with diversity around the table outperform undiverse teams. Why? Because we're not selling products to only white men. So I don't agree with you, Angela. I respect you. I like the way that you're communicating, but I don't agree with you. You're talking out two sides of your mouth. Is this country has not been fair with respect to opening up the freaking door. And I'm talking from somebody that knows this because I started in Wall Street when there were very few women. I didn't even think about the fact that I was a woman. And I got paid higher than any other man other than the CEO of every company I ever worked with. But I didn't, I just, I had the opportunity to do that. I negotiated well and I didn't think about it. So I never had a gender issue. I was I was very fortunate in that respect. I have to be quiet because I've got a grandson in the other room.
Thank you for that, Laura. Appreciate you. So once
I
again,
wanted to
the
hop in if I may.
go ahead. Go ahead, chat. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so it's not she just keeps talking about race, creed, and something now, gender. But veteran status is also included in DEI, just so you know. So typically what would have happened, you talk about systemic issues, is if I'm a Vietnam veteran, I would come home and I would not be able to get a job. You know why? Because there's a stigma on veterans that we're crazy. We got PTSD. Back then it was called shell shock. Okay. There were so many things, so many stigmas that were said about veterans that veterans could not get jobs. So what the federal government did is it incentivized not only the federal government, but also businesses, right, through taxes and through the VRA and different acts to incentivize them to hire veterans because people didn't have the tendency or the propensity to hire a veteran, even though we were more than qualified. Oh, I'm sorry, volume, okay. But even though we were more than qualified to do the job. And so whenever we make DEI only about race or only about gender, we are leaving out people that are disabled, which also tends to be your veterans. Me as a service connected disabled veteran, as a Black person and a woman. So understand that I am more than qualified to do any of these jobs, right? I was in military intelligence for God's sake. But imagine doing all of that in the military and then coming home and being an assistant, being an admin assistant. Meanwhile, I'm flying drones. You get what I'm saying? And so in order for a lot of veterans or disabled people who, if you mark disabled, sometimes job employers won't even hire you because they want to figure out, okay, what type of disability does she have? She's a veteran. Is she disabled? Is she missing a limb? Or is she crazy? So, like, we can't act like DEI is not that ladder or that stepping stone to allow for others to have the same qualifications, I'm sorry, or to get jobs and positions where they wouldn't normally have access to because of those disabilities, because of their color, because of their gender, and all of that. So I'll leave it there. Thanks.
No,
Damn, I was
Hold on,
about to
excuse me,
throw him. I
Jerry,
was
Jerry, hang on, Jerry, excuse me, just a second.
Can I
No,
go
chat,
ahead?
just a second, chat, before you go on, I just want to, I wanted to ask you
Can
something, and I lose my
oh
train of thought really quickly. So if you can hear me, I wanted to ask chat, um, with because I hear what you're saying, and my question was then, um, with the Oh, okay. So you were saying like when people come and they want to they see the disability. That's where I was going with that. The disability perhaps of a veteran
Mhm.
on an application. Does that fall under DEI or the Discrimination Act or both?
So
And I'm
it would
asking
be
you
a
because I feel
protected
like you're an
class.
expert. What
I'm
was that?
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said I'm asking you because I feel like you're an expert in this. So I want to know, does it fall under each or both? Like one or the other or both?
Yeah, it would be, but it would also depend on if it's the federal government or public or private. But typically, disability is also a protected class. It's considered a protected class. Did
Hey,
that answer your
can
question,
I
huh?
speak, please?
Who else
Somebody's
wanted to jump in
whispering.
there?
This
Yeah,
is
there's something weird going on. And I don't know what, I'm sorry if I talked over Jerry. I don't know where he went. What happened to Jerry John?
hey guys. Hey guys. This is real
I
over
went
on
to
Club.
go get
I have
something to
a couple
drink.
of people
That's
that would
somebody
like.
from Clubhouse.
Okay, okay, go ahead, Real. I'm sorry. We didn't have I couldn't see the bubble talking. Go
Hey,
ahead, love.
Ria. Thank you. It's okay. I have Tony over here that's been trying to speak for about 10 minutes, and then I have Dr. Hope. Tony, go ahead.
yeah. I'm going to try to tackle the issue from a utilitarian perspective instead of ideological. The primary purpose of having a diverse set of individuals in any set of groups is uh, because it provides a diverse set of opinions to any set of problems that that group is solving. And there are multiple anecdotal examples that I have, but foremost, there are studies which, on the basis of statistics, prove that the groups on which have diverse set of individuals, whether it be based on creed, caste, color, whatever it is, they have more chances of success in solving a set of problems. An anecdotal problem can be, uh, I am pretty sure you guys have heard of Bose headphones. So this Bose guy was from India, Kolkata, and from his experiences during childhood dealing with gramophones, he came up with uh, um, a technique in acoustics that nobody in United States would have even thought of, because gramophones had gone out of flavor in the 1990s when this guy was in MIT. Uh, Similarly, there are various examples. So this is not the primary purpose of DEI is not for the benefit of the individuals. It is for the benefit of the group itself. Uh, the second point is from the
There's
mitigation
another one.
uh, from
Go ahead.
from the mitigation perspective. Oh my God! From the mitigation perspective, I have heard the word merit thrown around a lot. Merit is supposed to be an idea where all the individuals are playing on a level playing field and then competing for success. Who's pissing?
Go
So
ahead. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead,
Oh
brother.
I'm
dear.
sorry, sir.
Go ahead, brother. That was Jerry.
Oh my God, Jerry.
That was an accident, my brother. Hey, let one mic on this guy speaking. Go ahead, brother.
I'm
Go ahead, sir.
totally. It's okay.
You were
No,
talking
I
about
don't.
the merits, sir. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the merit. But this notion that all the individuals are playing on a level playing field is false in itself. It depends on your zip code, on the amount of your money your parents have, on the amount of resources that they can provide to their children, whether your child goes to a private school, whether your child can afford extra tuitions other than the school itself. Their majority of population in United States cannot afford that, whereas the top 0.1% of the population can afford all these things available. Whether your child has personal transportation while going from school to tuitions to extracurricular classes or not, that saves up time. That saves up time to give the child more time to do homework. Whether you have access to technical resources in the form of online courses, which can enable to you to have uh, access to wider set of information. So it doesn't matter how smart a child from a public school is. If he or
Right.
she, if the child does not even have access to an
Right.
equal amount of information.
Great point. Hey, what's your name again, little brother? What's your name?
My name is Tony.
Tony, why don't you hop over here to the other side so we can, see you? Because I would love for you to be part of the show just in general over here. So hop over to the other side
What
and think,
what should I do?
what should you do?
There,
Miss
The,
You
how
should
actually,
do I
download
an
the Chatter
invite.
Social app on and
Go to the dark side.
my
different?
Yeah, I put.
Jonathan, you're on
John
mute.
Jonathan, it works better if you unmute your mic, brother.
Real's gonna take care of you. Real's gonna take care of you. Go ahead, Real,
Yeah,
take care of
Real.
you.
Yeah, and then we had Dr. Hope over
just
there, and
go.
then Dr.
It,
Hope, real quick, and
Yo,
then we
yo,
move over.
yo.
Yeah, we're good.
Working really hard
it's
for
gonna
the
take
past
me a
few
minute.
days. I wanted to comment on this topic.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
please.
Okay, real quick, Dr. Hope, or I'm gonna get fired.
Can
Yeah.
I complete the point that I'm
Well,
making?
Okay,
yeah, you
hold on
can
just
take
one
a long
second.
time.
We've got Tony talking. Dr.
Just cut them off.
Well,
For real,
Okay,
that's what I'm saying, bro. For real.
Tony, I've got
Can
you.
you go over to
Tony,
chatter,
listen, you've
please?
got to, Dr. Hope, hold on just a second. Tony, you've got to mute up, please. I've got you in the chat. Okay, go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Dr.
All
Hope.
right.
Thank you.
So, I grew up in the top 1% of privilege, and and Angela, don't respond to me. You're clearly privileged. When Obama became his first executive order was the Lilly Leadbeater Act, which was equal pay among women. Those who are white privileged are the ones who are the most angry around DEI. They're the most
Wait, who
angry.
am I talking to? Who's talking
Oh,
right now?
let
That's
let her
Dr. Hope.
land. One, I got it. Just 1 second. I got it. Doctor, I mean Angela. Angela, one moment. Go ahead, Doctor
Okay.
Hope. Continue.
It's
Continue.
Dr. Hope Kelman, Dr. Kelman. And, I have had to fight a lot of men in my career, and there's very few men right now who can throw me off my beam and where I am. And that's because I've been involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion my entire 30 years in public policy. The fact that Angela's sitting in her little Tweety Bird reality yakking at us, entitled,
Man,
it's
fuck all that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, bro,
Because
mute your mic, brother. Mute your
Tony,
mic.
back up. The
yeah,
ladies are
just
speaking, sir.
One, I got it. I got it. One at a
the fact
time,
Aren't
guys.
you?
she can
Mute your
sit
mute your mic, bro. Bro, mute your mic. Go ahead, Doctor. I don't want to say it wrong.
the first 60 seconds she said she gets hired because of her boobs. That is exactly why there's affirmative action, to make sure that we were not put in positions of authority for sexual because of our sexuality. That's one thing that the affirmative action was able to take care of. The fact that Trump immediately attacked this reminds me of he gets an A for Adolf. That's what Adolf Hitler did. He immediately attacked these issues. These issues, as soon as the House and the Senate become blue, these issues are going to be the first that get turned back. I believe that Angela's using her entitlement, her white privilege, and her very insecure ego to try to say that she needs equal treatment. And I don't believe that she believes it. I believe that this has just been a con job on the American people and that the civil rights movement is getting kicked in the teeth around this. And I am land my plane. I got to go to bed. I've been working really hard for 3 days. Thank
You
you.
know what?
Before you
Thank
go
you.
to bed,
Thank.
before you go to bed, Dr. Hope, you still wearing a mask? Because I
Thank.
Oh
looked you
no,
up
you lying.
online. Hold on, because I looked you up online, and how you have the audacity to accuse me of the things that you accuse me of.
Jonathan.
No, 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 no. I never said that I got hired because of my boobs. I said that I could if I
Yes, you
wanted
did.
to, but I don't. No, I didn't. I could if I wanted to, but I
You're
don't. Dr. Hope, are you still wearing a
replays are
mask?
on.
Dr. Hope, are you still wearing
He's
a
on.
mask?
Is that relevant to anything?
It is. I asked her
She's
a
Why?
gone.
question.
Why
Can
don't
she
you
answer it?
explain
Dr.
Let
Hope
why
her
is
you
go.
think that's
Let her go.
relevant?
Goodbye. Thank you. What she said was disgusting, and that's okay because I looked her up and she's crazy. So I'm done.
And you're not?
No, I'm not.
You
Do
got
you
everybody
think I
excited.
am?
Sorry,
You got
Angela,
So,
but
everybody.
for
Do you
4
think I
years
so
we've
am,
listened to
Shauna?
your
Shauna,
years we've listened to your crazy
Shauna, do you
bullshit.
think I
We've
am?
listened
Shauna,
to you
you could
backtrack. We've listened to you
go ahead,
give
Shauna.
us all sorts of different things, and none of
Mm-hmm.
it is ever true. And at least none of
Mm-hmm.
us have bothered to look you up and
You
call you
mean not
crazy.
you?
We
You mean
just
not you? You mean not you, right?
I don't look you up. I would care less to look you
So
up.
why don't you
I
mute
already know
out
you're
when I'm
crazy
talking to someone else? But you don't mute
because you're
out because you
rude and
can't.
you're doxing her.
Oh, because I responded to something that she said. You have a problem with that?
You asked her if she's wearing a mask when she goes
I
to sleep.
did. So
That's none of
why?
your
She could.
business.
Yes, Angela, my question to you is why would that be relevant to anything you might have to say to her? Why?
So debate the news. Once again, in case some of you just came into the room, you guys don't know, there's a link up top and it says debate the news podcast and it says Apple Podcast. So what that means is you can go to your favorite podcast, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Amazon, whatever it is, and you can actually download these episodes. And Mr. Bing and company would actually appreciate if you do that. So Angela, why don't you do us a favor, Miss Angela? Go download a couple episodes, okay? And then DM Mr. Bing. Angela, okay, I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor since we rock with each other. Can you do this for me, Angela? Since we rock with each other, download a couple episodes and then
Not a
DM.
couple, 10, please.
I got this. I got this.
Okay,
Can
okay.
can you can you download a couple episodes and can you DM Mr. Bing and share with him which one was your favorite one that you downloaded? Can you do that, Angela? Make me look good, and
Yes.
I'll always rock with you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So
Jerry,
once
you
Is the
always look good.
Angela,
Come on.
two times the same in
In
the
fact, what she can do is do automatic downloads. So they automatically download each time a new episode is released.
there you have.
Angela, let me ask you a question, Angela. What about affirmative action? How do you feel about that being going? That needed to needed to go away as well, right?
Jonathan, I'm not answering any more questions. I'm not answering any and I'm not going to answer any more of your setup questions, but I will do what Jerry has asked of me.
Oh,
I will. I will. Because I
Mr.
realize
Big,
the setup. I
Mr. Big
realize
doesn't
this.
set people up. Come
I
on.
realize the setup when I see one. You know, we're
It-
from this. Listen, Jonathan, you and I are literally from the same school of rocks. You know that. And
yes.
I will literally listen to Jerry's and I will be back next time ready and prepped because I will be back ready and prepped
You're always ready and prep, guys.
I
Angela's
am
from North
Jonathan.
Jersey.
You
Angela's from
know,
North Jersey.
yeah, at the end of the day, as much as you and I collide heads and we do, I adore you nonetheless. So there's
Yes.
that. So yes,
Same,
I'll
same,
listen.
same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Dominic.
She's smart. She's smart, brother. I got to give it to her. She's very smart. There was a guy that just jumped in. I think you were a guy. I don't want to. Okay.
Divine, was it?
Oh, I didn't. Don't Divine. I didn't, bro.
All good. I'm just trying to bring us back home. So
We already no. We're already home. We're already home. There's no bring back home.
no
We're home.
problem. Trying to talk to the topic. So we seems
Go
we
ahead.
have beef between Marco Rubio and Elon Musk, and it looks like Trump took Rubio's side. Musk accused Rubio of not firing anyone when he did prove to him that 1,000 employees did actually take the government buyout. So I think
1,500.
we have a meltdown going on in the White House. I knew it was a matter of time before Elon Musk was going to piss somebody off. They can't take it anymore. He's the shiny new toy in the White House. He was not elected by anyone, and I believe he only had 130 days. So his days are numbered. He needs to go and fly a jet or launch a rocket and get out of politics.
You really believe? You really believe that, bro? His days is numbered? Like seriously?
Yeah, someone told me he gets 130 days as an advisor to the president. I could be wrong. Someone who's more knowledgeable could chime in. But he needs to focus on his businesses. He needs to focus on and getting his hands off the buttons. This is not a joke. You know, if
Why do you
people want
think
to
somebody like
compare,
Grant likes him so much, Divine? Like, what is the reason? Why do you
because
think
they,
Grant?
yeah, I was just gonna segue into that. They compare our government to a business. Governments are to protect the people. Businesses are to make money. You cannot run the government like a business, and then you're gonna have the wackos. Well, the U.S. is a business. No, we are a nation of individuals who deserve protections. And right now, I don't feel so protected. So I'll land with that.
That was a great share. That was a great share. I wasn't aware of that, Mr. Bing. Go ahead, Mr. Bing. I saw your face move. I saw your
No,
eyes
no, no.
twinkle.
Divine's Divine's correct. Marco Rubio, he's got fed up with Elon. Elon actually called Marco Rubio out and said, "Yo, you haven't fired anyone." And when Marco Rubio, it's 1,500 people that accepted the buyout. So, but Elon shot back at him. Guys, listen to me. When you have a civilian in the Oval Office or in the cabinet meeting, speaking to the cabinet heads as if he's their supervisor, that's a problem. And so, what's going on is Trump is now dealing with his cabinet pushing back on Doge because it's gotten ridiculous. They laughed at it at first. They thought it was fun. They thought it was cute, but they see what's really happening. They see that how these cuts are really affecting their ability to actually do the job. So and they're firing a lot of good people, and they have to rehire them. And then hey, can you show us how to do this? And try to figure out a way to fire them again. So the secretaries are getting tired of it, and so that's why Trump had to have that emergency meeting. He tried to fire some air traffic controllers. Elon did. And right now we don't have enough air traffic controllers. So with that being said, Rubio, uh, you know, Trump, Rubio said he's not firing anyone right now. And so they actually, because of that, Trump, I guess, issued an edict and said that, hey, you know what? You guys are the department heads. You guys make the determining factor who gets fired, who doesn't get fired. Elon can make a recommendation. So it's starting to crash around them because of all of this stuff. It doesn't work out. It wasn't thought out. It wasn't thought out. It was going. Let's do this. Let's do that. They're getting fed up with it because they know that they're going to get the blame for it. Now, also, Tara, are you here?
I'm
Yeah,
here.
let's go. Congress, they're starting to push back. These Republican congressmen are starting to push back because what they're trying to do is they're now trying to reestablish that they have the power of the purse. They essentially ceded that to Trump in the early days, and we're still in the early days of his presidency, but they ceded that to Trump. And Trump didn't stop, with one or two things. He kept going, like, okay, this is mine. So you want to speak to that, Terry? I don't know if you spoke to that. I know Republican congressman, they held a press conference um, about Ukraine and all the other stuff that's going on and said this has got to stop. Putin is, and I want to talk about Putin as well, but they had that press conference as well. The
Well, I
Republic.
don't know. Okay, I think what's happening is some of them. I think somebody what was it, Curtis from Utah said you need compassion, these are real people, things like that. And I think there has been some, pushback a little against the fact that Musk seems to be cutting, without understanding what the jobs are or what people do or what's needed. But I think essentially what they're doing is they're sort of going and they're trying to get him not to cut Republican funds, if that makes sense. So, for example, they were going to cut from NOYA, and they were going to cut some offices in Oklahoma, and the Oklahoma senator just posted saying, thank God, they're not going to make those cuts in Oklahoma. So I'm not so certain I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but if they had hearings about this or anything? I
No, no,
think
no,
they're
no,
trying to,
no, no, no.
yeah,
They did
yeah.
have hearings. They've spoken out
Right. I think
about.
they've been making some noises, but I also think their preferred method, because they're scared about really antagonizing him, is to go and sort of explain, hey, this would really hurt people who voted for Trump. Don't do this.
So on that note,
Can I
here,
just answer the thing? I just want to say one thing about what Daphyne said. The rule for a special government advisor, which Elon Musk is 130 days within one 365 day period. So if Elon Musk were to work through April or May or whenever the 130 days runs out, technically he could not work again as a special government employee until next January, let's say. But the thing is, what Musk will probably do, it only based on how many days you actually work. So he might say, I'm only working 5 days a month for the next couple of months. He might himself try and space it out. Thanks.
Go ahead, Shauna.
something that came up, Tira, that I'm not sure you heard about, but when those letters to, get your 30,000 resign early went out, many, many people at in the corrections department and the interpreters took it. And currently, right now, there are no interpreters in the federal courthouses, and there is nobody to transport the prisoners to the federal courthouses, and hearings are backed up like crazy. So that's another oops that they did, because now the courts, not only are they bogged down with all these lawsuits that people are bringing against Trump, they don't have anybody to protect the justices. And this is federal, not local. And they don't have anybody to bring the people from Club Fed to the courthouse for their hearings. And they don't have anybody to translate. So we've got a big problem on our hands because of Mr. Musk, by sending out that little memo, take this $30,000, retire early, etc. Nobody realized that it was affecting the courts. And we had a meeting on that today because of what's happening here, because they want the San Francisco Sheriff Department to step in. You don't pay us enough.
The
Well,
other thing that happened was a number of the administrative law judges, the immigration judges, also resigned, and that's going
No,
to
they
create
got fired.
they got even more of a backlog then. I mean, this is crazy stuff.
I got a
yeah.
question.
Well, Shauna, to be clear. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jerry.
I'm gonna pass it right back to you. Is there, if anyone else wants to jump in the conversation, feel free. The mic is wide open. If it's just a statement you want to say, whatever you want to say, just hop on the mic. Back to you, Skull.
Well, Shauna, to be clear, I don't know why we need translators anymore, my friend, because we made English the official national language of America via executive order. So, like, if you don't know what's happening in the court, that's a you problem, not like an us problem anymore. You're going to speak English in this country.
That one. That one.
Scald, that is hysterical, but they still have a right to understand. And if their main language or their primary language is not English, then they have a right under the Constitution for an interpreter. But there are no interpreters. So I guess in that sense, Trump got what he wanted, and they're trying to hire all these people back, but they're like, they don't want to come back because they can make more money in the private sector. States will pay them a lot more money than the federal government did to be interpreters.
Yeah, and we're finally starting to see here. I've said before, and my contention has been this, especially when I was getting attacked by all the right wingers on here, which I love your guys' attacks. I appreciate them. But I've said, hey, I am for cutting government graft and corruption and reducing government spending. I think these are all laudable goals, as long as we can still provide the service, like essential services of the government. And I also said there's a legal way to do this. And it appears finally stunning. And this is stunning to me because if you look at Congress, if you look at the House and the Senate, Like 70% of these people have law degrees, so they should know this because they're all lawyers and they're making laws. And just today, finally, after 44 days, Lindsey Graham came out and said, well, we should consider passing an official rescission, which rescission would be a budgetary reduction, to make the Doge cuts legal, or else it will be against the Impoundment Control Act of 1974, which is what I've been saying for a month on Debate the News. And finally, we've got Lindsey Graham in the Senate saying that that's what they're going to need to do, right? Because that is the process, folks. There is a process for these kind of things. You don't just get to bring in some CEO and he gets to cut it down like Twitter. It's not a tech company. Go fast and break things is the motto of tech. It is not the motto of a government. I land.
Scald, you do know that next week the funding ends, right? And if they don't pass something by the 15th, where the government shuts down again.
Hey guys, once again, I need some more people to join this conversation. Once again, everybody. So
I'll go,
feel free to jump in. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, can I weigh in?
Yes, of course. You're already in, sir.
Yeah, I mean, can I speak?
You just
So,
spoke. You just spoke.
uh, so other than the guy being a self-proclaimed Nazi, uh, the government and the startups or a private company cannot be run in the same manner. You cannot expect go in and break things and find break things and see what works, because instead of a private corporation where it is going to affect the bottom line, here there are real human beings whose lives are getting affected. For example, uh, the US aid has been completely gutted. uh, there was a program that was started by George Bush Jr. It was called PEPFAR. Uh, it was under the US aid, which
What's it called, Tony?
yeah, it's called
It's
PEPFAR.
called PEPFAR. He's about ready to talk about how we've prevented literally millions of children from getting HIV, which was started under George W. Bush. And this is what I was saying, a
But you
stop.
you you didn't let him land though, Skull. The
Oh,
man
I'm
was the
Oh
sorry.
no,
man was
it's
in.
He was
totally all
helping. He was
right.
helping me understand. Thank you. I
He's doing
appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah, but let
He,
the dude land. I
oh no,
got
he's
it, but
doing good. He's
yeah, go
he's
go ahead.
explaining
Just
good. It's okay. Go ahead,
go
man.
ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. And you're doing a great job as well. And and thank you so much for being so articulate with. I'm sure English is your second language, and you're doing a great job at it.
and thank
Yeah,
you
And
from
if I
coming
can
over from that
interject,
other app to here.
but
Hey,
Exactly.
Welcome
guys, one
to
mic, one mic,
Chatter.
one mic, one mic. Jerry said one mic, and everyone's gone. It's like 8 people went. Let's go ahead, Tony.
yeah, so this program was intended towards the uh, victims of sexually transmitted diseases in African continent. So it was a multifaceted program. Contraceptives were distributed, and treatment was provided to the children who got the infection, to provide hospice care, because most of the children die before they turn 5 if they get infected with STDs. So even after George Bush Jr. implemented this program, the Christian evangelicals in United States protested distribution of contraceptives, because it is against the will of the God to stop a child being born. But George Bush Jr. still resisted. He was an whatever he was, at least he was a relatively kind man. But here comes this orange buffoon with this South African apartheid Nazi ketamine addicted person, and they completely gutted the USA. Now the all of the offices are closed, all of those hospitals and clinics are closed. And you know what's the most vitriolic thing? That
What, Tony? What? Share it
on
with
the
us.
yeah, on the window of those
Take your time.
clinics,
Take your time.
yeah, on the window of those clinics, it is written that we see you, you are not alone. and now those clinics are locked, and there are children, there are mothers with children in their hands who are infected with HIV, who depended on those medication uh, to literally live, and they are going to die because.
Hey, people in the chat are asking you to start over from the beginning, Tony.
No, 1 second. Hold on, Tony.
And
Tony, first of all,
similarly, like
one
USA,
mic. Tony,
yeah.
1 second, 1 second, Tony. First of all, Tony, thank you for coming right over, man. I appreciate you for coming over from the other platform. Let's start there. Secondly, I always spoke about the George Bush program that he did, and that program where he saved all those African lives by providing the funding for the HIV. So you're telling me that U.S. aid was responsible for handling distributing that, and USAID, because USAID is now gone, those programs no longer exist. Anyone can jump in on that. Is that what's going on? Anyone scold?
Yeah, that's what I was ranting about like 4 weeks ago when I
What
said,
the
"Oh,
fuck?
you guys are going to let children die." And let me finish connecting the dots for you here, because some people might not know this, and I'd love for Dr. Catherine or anyone else to jump in here, because my understanding is that if a woman is pregnant, right, even if she's HIV positive, there are certain retrovirals you can administer that will ensure that it will not be passed in utero across the placental barrier. And so that child will be born without AIDS, right? They will actually be HIV free. And so even if the mother has been infected, we can save the next generation from this hardship by administering what is actually pretty cheap drugs, to be honest with you. And we stop that. And in fact, the person in charge of USAID, this program, PEPFAR, said that every 2 weeks that it was shut down, they estimate that 300 children would be infected with AIDS
You
that
took
could have
us
been
a
prevented.
you definitely went in a whole different direction with that one,
So,
but it's
I mean,
okay.
yeah, so I mean that's what's happening. And this is why a federal judge has ordered that this money has to start being distributed again by Monday, right? That order just came down and the Supreme Court backed it. And Amy Coney Barrett was called a DEI judge all over Twitter for an entire day by the far right because she agreed that this money should be distributed, right? And so I mean this is the kind of thing that's going on here, and it's wild to me. It's wild.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I'll tell you this right here. George W. Bush, and believe it or not, guys, he's one of my favorite presidents. He is. Okay, I know he.
Agreed.
Yeah, he did a lot of crazy stuff with the economy. I mean, he tried to get everyone into a house, and the market crashed and all that other stuff. I mean, but his heart was in the right place. Okay, and so W, he that program. I always speak about that program because he saved millions of lives. Okay, and the church didn't want him to do it. The Republicans didn't want him to do it. And he did it anyway, and it spoke to who he was as a man. And to hear that Trump is trying to stop that program, it's heartbreaking, man. It really is. I feel like tearing up a little
It
because I'm
has
like, wow.
stopped. It has effectively stopped. And before you go far
Nope,
in
nope,
appreciating
it hasn't effectively stopped.
Shauna, let the
those
man talk.
those yeah, those clinics, they are closed. There are documentaries on YouTube. Anybody can look up those clinics which have VCU signs on their windows. They are closed.
Where
HIV.
are you? Tony, where are you at now? Where are you?
I'm in New York right now, and before you go ahead too far with appreciating George Bush, before he invaded Iraq, Oxfam and the World Bank and
I get that. I get
And
that.
UNICEF, three different organizations came with estimates that anywhere from 500,000 to 1.2 million children will die because of starvation or lack of medication if the United States goes ahead and invades Iraq. And he went and invaded Iraq, which resulted in the death of 500,000 children in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
That is directly
I
attributable to the US invasion of Iraq on a false promise
I,
of
I did. I did say
WMD.
that it's some of his policies, okay, but the fact that, what he did as a humanitarian and what he did around the world, I get it. They're not perfect. They're far from it. Um, Definitely would have a bear with the guy, and the guy, yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it, but yeah, guys. Anyone else wants to jump in here? Because first, and when we look at, I want to go with before we go there, guys. Trump earlier today said, "Hey, he's going to sanction Russia, okay, to try to get the peace talk going, okay." But what they did was they suspended so intelligence, sharing intelligence information with Ukraine. Russia has, and the French say they're going to step in and provide some intelligence information, but Russia has used that in order to like pound Ukraine and get better positioning because right now they really don't have a bargaining chip because Ukraine's been whooping their ass. And so I think Trump is trying to appease people here by going after Ukraine because he never said, I mean, after Russia, by saying the things that he said about Russia, like, oh, possibly put more sanctions on them, which he would never do. Okay. And people are like, oh, he said this, but he's not going to do that. Everyone knows he's not going to do that. Okay, but at the same time, he's cutting off intelligence information to Ukraine. Okay, and allowing the Russians to bombard them. Okay, once again, Ukraine is in this position because of us. I believe a lot do with us, I should say. But he cut off intelligence with them so that Russia can bombard them and have a better negotiating. It's like soften them up for negotiating. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It's a schizophrenic. He's trying to like, oh, I want to penalize you by sanctioning you because you're not trying to negotiate more. And at the same time, he's saying as they step up the attack on Ukraine, say they're doing what I mean. Anyone would do that. Basically, anyone would do that. He's okay, and they're the victim. Like Russia's the victim, and that they're defending themselves when they are the aggressor and the invader. So it's really weird. It's really weird to hear that kind of exchange take place. Terrasco, anyone else that wants to jump in? You guys have any information on that?
Yeah, I got.
So yeah, so oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do we feel about funding Israel $5 billion a year plus?
For what?
Is that rhetorical? Who's that? P man?
It's somebody on Clubhouse.
Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You on CH? Go ahead, bro.
He
Sir,
said,
Kind of.
feel about it.
Let me speak.
Go ahead. We can't hear you. Go ahead. Let's try it again.
Just wanted to make sure I made sure I heard Amber's question right. What'd you say?
Oh, my bad. I was asking, how do we feel about funding Israel a bunch of billions of dollars, of our hardworking tax money?
For what?
Yeah, who let this guy on?
Like, is there an end to that?
One moment. Listen to me. I have no problem funding Israel, just like I have no problem funding Ukraine. All right. Um,
Nah, we
you know,
geeking. We geeking.
you what?
I think he said he's geeking.
Okay, he's geeking. All
Yeah.
right, Skull, jump in.
Yeah, so I get most of my information here from ISW Institute for the Study of War. These guys are a bunch of former Pentagon and other military intelligence guys that run a think tank. They give pretty unbiased maps of what's going on in Ukraine. And what I find to be very interesting is there were three different fronts on which Russia started retreating in the last 48 hours. And then all of a sudden, we pull the satellite data and all this stuff from Ukraine, right? It seems to me like, it's like Trump's trying to play both sides and sort of just accelerate the conflict, not necessarily give one side an advantage over the other, right? He's saying, oh, I'm going to sanction Russia. Oh, I'm going to pull this from Ukraine. It's like, no, dude, just like make Ukraine run over Russia and Russia will like freaking capitulate. I mean, like, I don't understand exactly what the logic is here. I'm sure that a conservative can come on here and explain to me why this is 4D chess and I don't understand the art of the deal. But I'd love that to happen. I land.
One of the things many people don't know is that Ukraine is no longer able to access the satellite imagery that they were before. Trump put a stop to that, to any of the companies that were issuing. Um,
Shauna, that's all we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes.
no, you said aid. I'm talking about the
No,
satellite
no, no,
image.
no, I did not, Tara. I said he's no longer providing the intelligence, is what we said.
Okay, well, I'm talking about images, but I guess we can lump that into one. My apologies.
Oh, mm, I had to throw that little sound effect in there. I got you, Shauna. Thank you for your share, Shauna.
Again, these are real human beings involved. uh, the what United States has done, it does not matter. If Donald Trump feels that country is a company, then he's just the new CEO. And as a company, the United States made a contract with Ukraine that, yeah, brother, go ahead and fight Russia back, don't surrender, and we will help you. We will not send our troops, but we will send our weapons, and we will provide logistics, and we will provide intelligence. The company made a contract. The company that is,
You said that contract part already.
Hmm.
Just in case
yeah,
you
the
no,
United States.
just in case you wasn't aware, I'm just helping you just build a little bit.
Yeah, and now this another CEO comes and he reneges on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
What the message it gives to the rest of the world, that United States is no longer a reliable ally. I am no fan of American empire, but uh, I feel that instead of Russia and China, United States is a far better hegemon or superpower.
But I
and
the thing
he
about it though,
he's
uh,
effectively destroying the U.S. empire
Tony know how to hang.
single-handedly.
Hey, he know how to hang on to that. Jonathan, he got that mic. He's like, ugh.
he hanging on to
He's
that mic. Pause. My
he's
goodness,
single-handedly destroying the American empire. Yeah,
Start.
go ahead.
Hey,
Tony,
Tony,
bruh.
start over
Tony,
from
where do
the
you
very.
live?
Start
Tony,
over
where
from
do
the.
you live? Where do you live, Tony?
Yeah, yeah. Talk to
uh,
Angela.
i'm
Huh.
in
Where
college
do you live, Tony?
I'm in college.
No, but
uh,
are you in the
I
US?
am, yeah, I am in a hot
Don't answer her
dor-
question.
Are you in the
dormitory.
US?
Don't answer
New
her.
York district in
Yes.
You don't
India.
have
They
to
say
answer
She,
New
that.
York district in
Ugh.
Tony,
India.
Tony,
Yes,
she's
I'm
gonna
in
ask you about your
US.
status pretty
I'm in
soon.
the state of New York, and I live in a dormitory, and I can't provide any more
One
information.
mic on Angela and Tony. Go ahead, Angela.
Yeah, but I gotta listen. I gotta like one other question. How old are you? Because really, you sound old AF,
Yeah,
sir.
he does
Like
sound
Yeah,
you
old as
really
hell.
do.
AF.
I
He
mean,
does
it's
sound old
me
as hell.
talking.
I
No,
One,
but
am
seriously, what? How old are you, Tony? You're talking about like
uh,
you're in a dormitory. What the?
I am 26. I am
Ah, you're
pursuing
That's a
Cap. You're
damn
fucking
lie.
lying.
I am
Right? Okay,
pursuing
Chad.
my PhD. Yeah, sorry, matlab, whatever you want to assume, it's okay. I am
Angela,
what
Angela,
Get
it's
this
okay.
man out of here,
Angela.
I'm here,
Mike.
Jerry. I'm
Liar.
here,
Hey,
Jerry.
hey, Tony and Angela was trying to have a conversation,
Okay,
guys.
so Tony, I'm gonna ask you this. What dormitory are you in?
Mm.
Don't
Oh,
answer that.
stop
You
answering,
don't.
Okay,
Angela.
Shame
no,
on you.
She's trying to
I think
dox you. Get out of here,
Don't get
Angela.
doxxed,
Can,
special guest.
listen? Tony's a big
What are you
man.
talking about?
Let the woman have her
this,
conversation.
yeah,
Go
this
ahead,
is
Tony.
the only piece of,
Okay. Wait. Don't Tony. Don't answer that question.
madam, if you will pause, I will
Don't
answer.
answer that
He said
question.
pause.
You're in a
Called her
college.
madam.
You're in a
Yeah.
college. You can call me. You can call me whatever you want. It doesn't phase me. So you're in
No,
a
it was out
college.
of respect.
Damn.
I appreciate that. I do. So you're in a college dormitory. You're attending college right now as a college student in a dorm.
I am in a PhD program, yes. And the program I am in, there are no other Indians there. So anything else that I tell you, that makes me vulnerable to be identified, and I won't be able to provide any more information, personal
Yeah, no,
information.
no, no. I'm not asking that. So you're living in a dorm in New York City, and you're a college student.
No, I'm not in the
He's
city.
living in a dorm in New York State, and he's getting his PhD. Pay
As a
Listen,
attention,
and I
chipmunk.
think it's important that we're not trying to
oh my
invade
god,
anyone's privacy. But I still
I'm
don't think.
not
Tony,
asking
why
that.
do you think that you're why? I'm really perplexed by
Shauna, you're
this.
gross, but what I yield.
No, that wasn't Shauna. That was Daphne, Angela. And I don't want you to yield. I
No,
want you to say.
Shauna called me chipmunk. She always does because she's very,
I
very,
missed
she's
that.
very impressed with my voice, and maybe my voice is very light, but it comes with great strength. But Shauna
You have
has
a nice voice, Angela.
she always calls me chipmunk,
You are
and it's
definitely not a chipmunk. They are
thank you,
cute.
Tony. you,
Tony,
Chipmunks
Tony.
are cute, man.
Tony,
Tony, the
Tony,
reason
welcome.
why
Tony
I
said you're a
asked you,
ferret, not a chipmunk.
Welcome to
so whatever.
Charles.
I just none of what you call me is relevant. So that goes without saying. But Tony, the reason why I was asking because you sounded older than a college student. That's the only reason why I was asking.
Yeah, I am not in an undergraduate program. Like, I am doing my PhD, so yeah, I am old.
Okay, we got to get off
But
of
I
we
can
got
be
okay
45 if you want to. It's okay.
right now y'all conversation is kind of getting pointless about we going back and forth if he's in college, if he's downtown, if he's uptown.
Can I add something?
Go ahead and add whatever you go ahead.
Great.
Great. Awesome. Go.
Really? What is it?
Go ahead, chat.
And if nobody knew, like, Indians actually get hurt by the DEI program. Like, there are
That's amazing.
so many of us that there is a quota set, and despite being extraordinarily meritorious, uh, m- a lot of Indians don't get into American colleges because they need to provide representation to white people as well.
Did you land? Because I know you was trying to say
We
something.
haven't heard chat. We haven't heard chat.
I know. She said
Yeah,
she wants
yeah. So I mean,
take a deep breath, chat, and that mic just a
is
little.
it still loud? This is the new. This is the 16. I'm sorry. I got money. So here's the thing.
I got a 13. I got the old one. So
Oh, that's how you got to yell in the mic. Pause. So this is what I don't understand
you know what,
about.
Angela, you gonna let her talk to me like that, Angela?
Don't send her over here.
Angela,
Don't send her down
wait,
my
wait, wait.
street.
I'm here. What? I'm
I'm a
here.
whole Texan.
she's disrespecting me right now, Angela.
Hmm.
What a chat?
That's your
What?
problem, Jerry. Don't
That's
bring in the
that's right.
chipmunk
You send her
because
over, she limping
because
back.
my
I'm
sis
here.
will
I'm
take her
here.
down.
Yeah, she walk over, but she limping
One
back.
mic on Angela and chat. We have a
Here we
showdown.
go.
One mic on. Go ahead, chat. You asked for that smoke. Go ahead, chat.
No, this smoke is actually for Jonathan.
Uh-oh. Not too much on Jonathan. I mean,
So so
I protect Jonathan. There's a brick wall between Beef and Jonathan.
well
You
no.
gotta go through me first.
Okay. Well the question is, it's not really
You
smoke,
like that,
but
Jonathan? Jonathan, you like that?
is Trump still considered a Russian operative if he's willing to put sanctions on Russia for not stopping the war in Ukraine?
I call
Android?
Cap.
No,
Okay.
I'm
Good chat.
asking.
I call Cap. He's not willing to put sanctions on. He's not. He just said that to get people to say believe that he's not. That he's being fair. Everyone noticed that he always called Ukraine out, but he never called out Russia. He stopped sharing intelligence. He stopped doing everything, and he's allowing Putin to pound him worse than he's ever pounded him in the last year or so during the negotiations. Now that's BS. That's why the title says schizophrenic.
Uh, I don't know whether it's an agent or not, but there is a fact that employees from Russian embassy met with this guy called Papadoulos, this ferret-looking person, and they met inside the Trump Tower before the elections in 2016. And after he came in power, he forbade the FBI from pursuing the investigation any further. That's a fact. That Trump representatives met with Russian embassy employees inside Trump Tower in New York.
yo, Tony's brain. Tony's coming hard. Tony's coming hard.
I don't know what the hell he's saying.
You know what? He actually came from. Hey, shout out to Tony for actually when I requested for him to come over, he came over. So shout out to Tony. Appreciate you, Tony.
Heck yeah. And shout out to everyone that comes up and
Shout
joins
out,
the conversation. Really.
yeah, shout out to Real Cinnamon.
Thank you, Real.
All right, guys, we got about 10, 15 minutes left here. Jerry,
Yes, sir.
you know, we've been doing something called Chatter Local.
Okay.
All right. And Adrian, are you here, Adrian? Adrian going once.
Ooh.
Adrian going twice.
I heard it. It was dope too. I heard her, Jonathan. It was dope.
Adrian, I'm about to call her and wake her up. Can somebody call
Listen, that's why I
Adrian and
came
wake
off
her up?
mic. And she's getting rested up because you guys, if you don't know, Adrian Barker and the rest of the incredible crew here at DTN, they have a debate the news local show before the main show here at night, and it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let me tell you, that show is hot, it's on fire, and I think it might be better than the real show. So you guys, if you want to check it out yourself, you got to come over here to Chatter Social Live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do it daily, Monday through Friday, every single night here, and it's a lead up into this show. And we were hoping that Adrian would come up, but maybe we have some of our other co-hosts, Jonathan, could chime in and talk about it. Back over to you, sir.
No. Now I was hoping to get Adrian here, but
Same.
I'll see what we can do. Um, so anyway, Jerry, yeah. So you heard it was dope. Anyone here has a story from earlier? Anyone shared a story? Any 2B, are you here too? Watch he be gone. Two, are you here?
That man is sound asleep.
Yeah, everyone's gone.
Heck yeah, they really. That's your shift, boo. That's your.
Yeah, but yeah,
It was
Jerry,
so. You guys, listen.
Jerry,
Who
it's
was
pretty dope. Jerry, it's
earlier?
pretty.
It was
It's
so good, right, Jonathan?
yes, Jerry, it's pretty dope. Jerry.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm trying to get. I'm trying to slide in. Yeah,
Slide in, Jerry.
Jonathan.
go ahead,
Sorry.
slide in.
Jonathan, I actually went and listened to the replay. I listened to it yesterday and today, and I like it. And the lady he's speaking about, she has a lot of energy. She's very high paced, high energy. What I like about it though is you guys or they hop around from different topics. It's like whatever's going on, it's not stuck to just one particular title. So that's what I think is really dope about it, the way they just bounce around. Then they ask the audience what do they want to speak about. So you guys should check it out, especially those of you that's off of work at about 6 p.m. Eastern time. Go in and check out the DTN Daily News Edition. I think you guys will like it. I like, Jonathan, I see what you're doing, bro. I see what you're doing here.
You see the
You're,
vision? You see the vision, Jerry? You saw the full vision?
I didn't see it, but now I see you're about to create,
You see the
yes,
vision?
a little something for everybody. Some people like afternoon, some people like evening. You know me, I like the night because that's the after party. But yeah, but everybody got their time.
You know
And
we have
then,
DTN Sports coming up as well, right?
uh-oh. Hey, don't forget about the seventh round fit, even though it may not. Yes.
Yes, tell me about 7 round fit, bro.
Jonathan,
Oh my
this
goodness. Who's that speaking?
this is Cavs.
Good
Kev,
guys.
did she just
Yeah, I'd wanted to say something much earlier,
she
but
just cut me off,
back
dog?
and forth. Sorry, go
I know
ahead.
us damn
I'm
women.
I'm sensitive, miss.
I
But
Go
know
ahead,
it's
since
late night.
Cubs.
You're sensitive now,
but
Jerry.
since you have such a beautiful voice, I'm gonna yield to you. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, no, the room was closing, and I wanted to say one little thing about DI. And there is a program. I know I'm taking us back, but I thought it would be interesting to mention. It's called the Kennedy Project, and it was started in 1958. This is a time when JFK was the president. And one of the beneficiaries of that program is senior Barack Obama. And obviously, because he came to the US, President Obama was born here. And that was some of the impact or the effect of that program. And another lady, this is the Kennedy Project was actually in Kenya. And another lady called Wangari Maathai, who was a Nobel laureate winner about 15 years ago, and many other people who came from that program. And many of these, if anybody had gone to the background of some of the people that were selected, many of them went to school and were writing on the floor with sticks. So the education program at that time was very, you wouldn't imagine that those people would come out and be successful in Harvard or any of the other Ivy League programs that many of these student ended up going into. Anyway, so that's what I just wanted to say about the DEI,
Well,
that a lot
thank
of individuals would have been missed because they wouldn't have been chosen because of their backgrounds. But when they're given an opportunity, their intelligence shone and they went on to become leaders wherever they went.
Cabs. I appreciate that, and why I let you give me that and just jump in because you have such a beautiful accent.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
What's bro? The girl got a good accent.
yeah.
You know me. Normally I'll be like, "Why you cut me off like that?" But I
Somebody
just
call HR. Call HR. God. Welcome back, Chair.
damn. What I do?
Can I
What I
make a
do?
small correction?
Hey, yeah. Tony, jump in and take
Oh
Tony.
my God,
Tony,
man!
No,
Everybody
oh
ain't
Tony,
my
gonna put it
God.
to you,
Tony,
Tony.
Tony. This is what I want you to do, Tony. Tony, take your time, okay? I'm gonna give you some music.
Jerry,
Go,
Jerry, do
Tony.
something else, man.
Yeah.
Go, Tony.
So
Take
that
your
was
time.
not that was not this Papadillis person. In fact, it was Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, Paul Manafort, and four other U.S. citizens, and a Russian lawyer called Natalia Veselnitskaya. They met in inside Trump Tower in New York City on June 9 in 2016. And again, like, this is very difficult to believe with my scammy call center voice, but I also have a conspiracy theory that when Donald Trump went to Russia for his Miss Universe pageant, uh, he got two Russian hookers in his hotel room, and he got them to pee on him. And yeah,
Jonathan, Jonathan, you see, I know what I'm doing,
in,
bro. Go ahead, Tony. Jonathan, I got this. Go ahead,
Jerry,
Tony.
man.
yeah. So this
Take your
Vlad
time.
guy,
Take your time,
yeah,
Tony.
this Vlad guy also happens to be Russian president. He recorded it, and now he's blackmailing Donald Trump on the basis of those recordings. I don't know why he would get blackmailed. Like, this guy should be proud. At least somebody deems it worthy to piss on him. I wouldn't. But yeah, this is my conspiracy theory. Tunu.
Hey, Tony, you officially made it to part of the DTN team, my brother. You. I am inducting you into the main. I'm going to do a veto, and I'm inducting you into the main. No, an executive order. You are inducted into the main part of the show, Mr. Tony. Okay. But it's going to be one condition. Okay. Are you ready, Tony? Tony,
Oh, thank you, Senor.
let me tell you the condition you have to do. I need you to go to the link up top. Okay. I need you to go to the link up top, and I need you to download a couple episodes. And according to what they're saying, you can put it on autopilot. The reason why I keep saying I want y'all to go to 2022 and late 2023, because I got
Jerry,
to.
it's 10. 10. When you tell people to download, please, it's 10.
Daphne, I think I know what I'm
Okay,
doing.
he's got it. He's got it. He's got it.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Tony, it's the reason why I keep saying I want y'all to go to late 2022, early 2023, because it's a couple episodes with me and Jonathan Bing, and we are in rare form. You guys will hear a part of me and Bing that y'all never heard before. And yeah, y'all will hear a part of me and Mr. Bing that y'all would never have before. But Daphne, for the fact that you jumped in a couple times, and the
Yes,
fact that
sir.
for the fact that you've been telling me to do that, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Just so we know and everybody in the room knows, what does that cash flow stand for behind you? What does that cash flow stand for?
Well, since you asked, Jerry, cashflow.inc, that's the website. Cashflow Inc. is my website for my company, Cashflow, and it's a place for investors that want to make their business cash flow. Thanks for asking.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thanks for
Daphne,
answering.
damn. Hey, Daphne Christine. Wow. So anyway, yeah. So I have a question for you. We spoke about DTN daily, okay, news. What about DTN? What other DTN? We spoke about DTN sports, okay, where people come in and debate sports and topics. What other DTN shows are coming up?
Well, I'm going to be running DTN Markets, hopefully I can get some other people in here that
Okay,
are
okay, Daphne. Okay, I hear you, Daphne. Keep it going.
No, listen. The reason that Skull jumped in. No, 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 no. Listen.
Go ahead, go
No,
ahead,
no.
go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead,
No,
Skull. Go ahead.
no, 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 no. Don't let John razz you, John. I messaged Scald on the back because Scald is heading up the market report is right up my alley. Listen, cash flow is what that's what we do, right? Money, business, cash flow. If you guys don't know, also, and I was trying to get rid of my echo back here, because I'm also over here on the other app. But I say that to say I had messaged Skull to buy a little bit of time so he could talk about that market report that he's going to do in the mornings because I am so excited about that. That's probably going to be one of our hottest hits coming up in the new micro. What do you call these, like micro news shows? But Skull, back to you.
Yeah, so the goal is to go 10 a.m. to probably 10:30 a.m. every day that the market's open, Monday through Friday, and I'll just be talking about the stock market, economics, crypto, and just the general state of the market for that day. I'm working on getting some guests lined up here. I've got a quantitative trader, and I do have a guy who's a family office manager. I'm trying to see who else I can get on here as guests who will come on and talk about what they do and what they're investing in and what they're seeing in the market and give their opinions as well as my own. I land.
All right. All right, Skull. So that's good there. So yeah, Jerry, with that, let's go ahead and land this thing, Jerry.
Okay, Mr. Bing, with your permission, Mr. Bing, what I'd like to do is I'd like to play a little music and you just go ahead and bring us home, bro, because I love the way you got that energy on the intro and the outro. Mr. Bing, I got a question for you.
What's that,
Here's my
sir?
question. First of all, I know you don't like when I do this. Special shout out to Jonathan Bing, the hardest working man in social audio. This man, oh, damn, I was about to say this man keeps the lights on. This man really, really, really does the damn thing. So shout out to Jonathan Bing. I couldn't have been blessed with a more perfect teammate from day one that I got on social audio. I mean that from the top of my heart. I noticed I didn't say bottom of my heart. Top of my heart. One day I'm gonna share a story with you guys of how I met Mr. Bing on the original app. I actually reached out to him because of something I saw him doing in the room. He probably don't want me to talk about it right now, but one day I'm gonna share how we
Go ahead, Jerry. We got a couple minutes.
I'm glad you asked. Okay, so that was called the framing effect, guys. So listen, I didn't know Jonathan Bing. This was early on. This was, I was doing little mediocre rooms or whatever. So I went in a room and it had like 200-300 people. It was a very big room. And they were banging on Jonathan.
There was like 600 people in that room.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I knew it was a big room. They were banging on Jonathan, just going in, and he'd go to the stage, they kick him down. He'd go to the stage, they kick him down. And they just kept going back and forth. I'm talking about they was like, peek, peek, peek. Listen, they was handling him. He was getting his ass whooped. But he would not. No, let me say this. Let me say this. It appeared that he was getting his ass whooped. But he went back up on stage, and in about 10 minutes, he started talking, and everybody just shut up and listened to him. And he completely turned the entire room around. And it was like poetry. I was impressed with it. So what I did was I DM'd him. I sent him a back channel. Remember that, Mr. Bing?
I do. I remember that.
I sent him a back channel. I said, bro, now remember, I don't know this dude. This is before Million Marathon. This is before Debate the News. I said, respect to you because of what you did in that room. You stood 10 toes and you turned the entire room around. And that's how we became what we are today. So shout out to Mr. Bing. Now, something you want to add, bro?
No, none I want to add at all, man. Yeah, yeah, we've been like this right since then, bro. Absolutely,
I won't say we've been like this.
Like this, like this right here.
No, me and Mr. Bing is unbreakable. So we good always. So appreciate you, Mr. Bing. Now, Mr. Bing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go with that outro, my brother. So are you ready? Appreciate you guys, Mr. Bing.
That's right. All right, guys. Here's the deal. All right, so first and foremost, thank you guys for coming out and joining us tonight. Had a great time, a wonderful conversation. But most importantly, you guys that's listening at home, you don't have to listen from home, okay? I don't care if you're listening on Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, wherever, Pandora. Guys, download the Chatter Social app and come join us. Okay, we do this nightly, approximately 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys come join us. Also, with that being said, if you're in this room, up top, okay, either room, up top there, we have a link. Guys, that link gives you access to our whole backlog. And Jerry's right. We have shows from 2022, 21. All those shows are on there. You guys are able to access that all of that and listen to it. So go down like 10, 15, 20 of them. Download 10, 20, 15 of them. And you hear Jerry and I going back and forth, doing everything that we're doing. But most importantly, guys, follow, and hit instant download, automatic downloads as well. With that, Jerry, I'm going to hand this back to you, man, so you can take us out the right way.